2023 wasn't a good year for the Carolina Panthers, but I'm trying to make 2024 a better one for myself. Get started on your resolutions with Factor so you're ready for the new year. Factor's ready-to-eat meal delivery takes the stress out of meal planning and sets you up for success in the new year. Skip the grocery stores, prep work, and cooking fatigue. Instead, get chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals delivered right to your door. With over 35 meals to choose from per week, including keto options, calorie smart, vegan plus veggie, and more, plus over 55 weekly add-ons, you'll have a ton of nutritious and flavorful options to kickstart your resolutions. Skip that overpriced takeout trap. Factor is cheaper and way more delicious than takeout. Get chef-crafted, restaurant-quality meals delivered right to your door, and they're ready to heat and eat in just 2 minutes, which means more time for you. Head to factormeals.com/C350 and use the promo code C350 to get 50% off. That's code C350 at factormeals.com/C350 to get 50% off.
In a world where Carolina Panthers fans have an insatiable thirst for Panthers news and opinions, only one podcast roars ferociously. It's the C3 Panthers Podcast.
He's back, and we're back. The Panthers are back, baby. 34-10, and what felt like doom and gloom and seizing over just 5 days ago turns a new dawn, a new day. A Cam era returns. Holy cow! The Panthers go hunting this week and pounce on the Redbirds, 34-10, in a strong defensive performance, albeit with some missing weapons against a hobbled opponent. But a bounce-back performance in what was the biggest offensive performance of this team all season, where Christian McCaffrey and his one hamstring outperformed an entire Cardinals offense. Phil Snow smacked Cliff Kingsbury right in the face, and Cam Newton scored 2 touchdowns on 2 plays. And even through the ball, we knew Super Cam was back, but I think he's back for good, baby. Cody Lashney, man, you got to say it's a good day. It feels different. Even the damn offensive line looked better.
It is different. And let me tell you what, there's a lot of good that happened on that field today, but Cam Newton is the difference. The energy is different. This entire team feels like they have something to play for going forward. And we do, Tony Dunn. We're right in the midst of a wild card hunt. This could not have happened at a better time. A tremendous performance today by the Carolina Panthers. And Tony Dunn, normally we're here having to cheer everybody up on a Sunday post-game show. But no, we're just going to talk about all the heavenly glory that happened on your football screen today. And we're going to do it with the best Panther fans in all of YouTube, Tony Dunn. You already know them. It's Andrew Compton, ATX19, Chris Mortensen, my man JD54, Justin, Kevin Boshoven, Panther fan, King Dragon, Maddie Matt, 10 Tizzy, Tony Dunn. Ain't nothing to it but to do it, brother. Let's roll.
It's a good day to be a fan, especially when there's been some hardships on these fans. One of those, Nick Montiera, who has not even been able to see the greatness that is Cam Newton. But boy, you've driven, you've drove, you've seen terrible football, but this team gave you some life today. I got to believe it.
Man, I made the pilgrimage 3 times. And after today, man, I'd go down and I'd do it tomorrow if I could. You know, we desperately needed this win. And I'm so pumped, man. You know, I've been waiting for this moment for a long time. We finally put the beat down on a halfway decent team. Yeah, they were missing some people, but man, we needed that Cam Newton Narcan to get shot in our arm and pick us back up.
Yes, we did. Sarah Taylor, so sad that I didn't get to catch up with you today. She was in Greenville, my town, visiting her daughter. Thank you for the donation. I know that there is excitement surrounding the Carolina Panthers and fans right now. It would have been great to catch up, but today would have been an awful day for me. Yesterday, my wife threw my 40th birthday party, bro, and it was the struggle today was real. It was real like it was for the Arizona Cardinals, Drew. That struggle was real. How does a player like Cam Newton inject so much energy to a team into the life? It breathes life to where the defense looked like they were on like crystal meth or something. These guys were hype, dude. Dante Jackson just smashing dudes. Shaq Thompson playing great as always. And I think the refs colluded against us half the time, and we would have been better on a lot of this mess. Drew, how does a single man, is he human? I don't even know.
Cam Newton is just a force of nature. I mean, to walk into that locker room with guys' heads hanging down, wondering how they're going to turn this season around, and then they go out and the Cardinals were missing Kyler Murray and they were missing DeAndre Hopkins, but didn't have anything to do with their defense. Cam Newton came in and just electrified that team. And that's exactly what we needed. I mean, did you guys look at the end of the game? All the offensive players, Robbie, DJ, all of them was sitting beside Cam Newton on the bench. I'm like, that's totally different than what we saw with them dealing with Sam Darnold. Nobody wanted to even be around him or even look at him.
No, they all wanted to go home early. Robbie Anderson was smiling. I ain't seen Robbie Anderson smile all season.
He smiled today.
Yeah, he did. He even caught that one tough pass, and I think it was, I don't know if Cam threw it or PJ threw it, but it was like a wide receiver screen, like the ones they used to throw to Smitty back in the day.
Yeah.
And it was behind him, and my man had to twist and catch it behind him and caught it with him and turned. And I was like, man, Robbie would not have caught that 2 weeks ago. He would just like have been allergic to that football. Even he had a great day today. But as things have changed so much, at least in our attitude and our outlook, and at the very minimum, how about this, is that if Cam Newton went retired today, it would leave a better taste for people that have been yearning for Cam Newton. You know what I'm saying? Like that one last moment. And I mean, I know that's not going to happen. We're going to see more goodness, but I'm telling you, like, I mean, we didn't even have to win today, and that still would have brought excitement to me. But then we stomped these fools. I mean, they had no chance. And as things have changed, Cody Lashney, one thing has not changed. Chuba Hubbard continues to kind of suck, man. Like, he's good.
Well,
and then he's always fumbling the ball. He fumbles the ball all the time.
He needs to brush up on the fumbles. He needs to brush up on catching passes. But then he also had some really good runs today. And I feel like that's the story with Chuba. And listen, I want to go ahead and put this out there. Like, we're giving a lot of love to Cam Newton, and rightfully so. And we're not doing any of that to take away from a very well-rounded Carolina Panthers performance today. Our offensive line played great, man. They were moving fools out the way. They were letting us run the football. Christian McCaffrey finally had his bounce-back game where he looked like the Christian McCaffrey of old. Way over 100 all-purpose yards today. Did a really good job with that. And then our defense, man. Our defense was absolutely suffocating, only giving up a garbage time touchdown. Listen, this is what David Tepper and Matt Rule were saying, or maybe not Tepper, but this is what they were saying in their press conferences, that the Carolina Panthers defense is too good right now. And all you need is a little bit of spark on offense, and maybe the sky is the limit for the Carolina Panthers team. One of the reasons why we're so happy and why we give so much credit to Cam Newton for this is because of something else that he has already brought to the football team that we have been so sorely in need of. And it's that leadership, Tony Dunn. We were never out of this football game, and I believe this is right after Robbie Anderson threw that interception. This is Cam Newton
PJ.
rallying the troops, letting everybody know we have a mission, we have a job to do, and we're going to go out there and keep pounding and do it. This is the spark. This is the energy that the Carolina Panthers have so desperately needed. Man, what a roller coaster ride this season is already, dude. I'm pumped. So happy to have QB1 back. Ace Boogie, you already know what it is. Tony, I'm on cloud 9, bro.
Yeah, and this was, I mean, Cam Newton did not win this football game for us. But it is interesting to see how somebody who had kind of a turbulent departure from this team can walk in on moment one and take on that responsibility to a certain degree, or take that step into that role of and doing it in a way too that didn't offend or make it about him, right? I mean, yeah, you could say, I know that you saw the one people are going to say, oh man, first thing he does is say, get a damn taunting penalty or whatever it was.
Let the media heads
let
hate
it happen.
Good. I love it though, because you already know all the media heads are going to be talking about it. Typical Cam Newton has to showboat, gets a penalty. I fucking love it, bro. I wouldn't have it any other way.
But he, I mean, he wanted to play more, I think. He was itching to get out there, but I don't feel like he was disrespectful to PJ by any means. I think and this again, it continues, is like, it's just funny when it comes to Cam Newton. People, it's the same. I always said Cam Newton is like the Barack Obama and the Donald Trump of football. Is like whatever you believe about them already is what you're going to continue to believe regardless of what evidence comes your way, because all we have seen is evidence that Cam Newton is a great teammate, right?
Yeah.
Is that maybe some of his confidence in the very beginning of his career was off-putting to some people because he hadn't yet really done much, but he did have it wasn't like he was a nobody all of a sudden coming on the stage. He had the greatest fucking season in college football history, arguably, or one of them. So, I mean, it wasn't like he was a nobody. He believed in himself. But the fact that Greg Olsen, these guys, Thomas Davis, Charles Johnson, Trey Boston, all of these cats go to war and go to battle for this guy over his reputation, have never had a negative thing to say about him. I think that speaks volumes, right? And I mean, is that there is no evidence of this being bad. I want to give PJ Walker a little credit today. Old Philip Walker, I think, had a very good game. I told y'all we fuck around and put PJ in and win a game. Is that he wanted to tank? We keep putting Darnold out there. That's how you know the team didn't want to tank, is because we got rid of Darnold immediately. PJ Walker, 22 for 29. I mean, not a lot of yards. 167, one interception. Could have been two. Let's just say both of those interceptions, I think, were pretty damn good defensive plays on one hand. And PJ probably, if he would have been a little bit more set on that second one, had a hair more time, I think he would have found that receiver. You know what I'm saying? It was like the right read. It was just early. The ball was early there, and he didn't have anything to do. So Christian McCaffrey, though, is the story for me of this game, other than Cam Newton. So let's turn to Christian McCaffrey real quick. 10 receptions for 66 yards, 13 carries for 95 yards. And you want to talk about a guy who did not want to come off the field. We're up 30 points, and the dude, they might as well had to go restrain him to get him off the field. I'm telling you, he looked good, bro. That's the kind we debated on Debate My Take a few weeks ago if the best days of Christian McCaffrey were behind him. That is CMC, baby. That dude was
he looked great today.
I mean, he just looks like a night and day different play. I saw this one, and I'll turn the mic over to you guys on this, I saw this one drill in training camp where they were doing the footwork drill, like through the nets or whatever, high knee type stuff. And that you watched all three running backs come through. And Christian McCaffrey looked like 90,000 times better. He looked like a superhuman, and these are NFL players behind him. And it was just like, he makes them dudes look like Like they ain't ever done this drill before. I mean, he is sensational if he can stay healthy, Cody. He really, I mean, he could, him, Cam, this offense, and you know who else had brought the back to life today? A little old Joe Brady. Even Joe Brady had a big chubby today.
And what have I been telling you for weeks now on this C3 podcast? Joe Brady is not the problem. Joe Brady was never the problem with our offense. Now, I think he got kind of vanilla. I also think Joe Brady kind of got forced into being a little bit vanilla, especially when Sam Darnold was the quarterback. But listen, man, to stay with Christian McCaffrey, yeah, that was a vintage Christian McCaffrey performance. And I think that if he can continue to stay healthy, there's no doubt that even still, no matter who the quarterback is, everything that we want to do runs through Christian McCaffrey. If he's healthy, we're going to use him. We're going to pass him the football. We're going to run the football. We're going to get him involved in as many different ways as possible. That's why, believe it or not, I think our load management was pretty good today. For the most part, in the fourth quarter, they brought him in on one play, and even the commentators were like, whoa, what's Christian McCaffrey doing out there? I guess he won an argument with Matt Rule to come back in the game, but then they brought him right back out. And I think that's what you have to do, man. When you're winning games like this and you're up big in the fourth quarter, man, live to play another day, man. He had a great day from a stat line perspective. I think Christian, he is the lifeblood of our offense. And I'm excited for him. I'm happy that we have him back. And, yeah, I think we have a nice little running back room right now when you consider him, Chuba Hubbard, and Amir Abdullah. Or I'm probably saying that wrong. But, yeah, man, I think we have a really nice running back room right now. Yeah.
They called him the Butcher in college. That's like an awesome nickname. Just slicing mugs up. Drew, every time Christian McCaffrey touched the ball, right after it looked like the most sensational, like he shot out of a cannon. Was there a slight moment of fear for you every time I felt like I just held my breath
to see if he would get up?
Like you're looking at that walk, you tried to look at his gait, you'd be like, I'm looking at that hamstring, and then you saw him rolling it out on the football. It's like, oh my God.
Exactly. Every time he moves funny, you're just wondering, is it hamstring bothering him? Is it something bothering him? Please let him be okay.
Yeah.
By the way, he was checked for a concussion. It was nothing to do with his hamstring. He was checked for a concussion. He was fine. He was stretching on the sideline, but that was just precautionary stuff. Christian's good to go.
Yeah, very happy about that. But still, you're holding your breath every time. Is that the last thing we want to do is get this big win, breathe some life into this season, and then go, oh, Christian McCaffrey limited in practice. One other thing, and then we'll probably move to the cat calls in just a moment. The number is 252-228-5098. That's 252-228-5098. Smash the thumbs up button. Be a part of the conversation. It's free to support the podcast by just giving a share, giving a like, a subscribe. Help us grow. Tell a friend about it. And we're getting a lot of compliments about the podcast. So, 8-9 years doing this, I think we're starting to hit our stride, Cody. Last thing before we go to the calls, or unless you guys have some things you really on your hearts to talk about, we scored a touchdown in the third quarter.
Yeah, we did.
Finally.
We hadn't scored a touchdown in 12 quarters. Today, we scored 2 touchdowns in the first 5 minutes of the game. Or first quarter. It might not have been the first 5 minutes, but it felt like it. It was quick.
We're finally alive, man. It's I think it's safe to say that Sam Darnold has been the third quarter problem. And his negative energy has carried over to the defense. We're finally playing, at least this week, we played complimentary football.
Yeah. Hey, I have a question for y'all, and we don't necessarily have to answer it right now, but what's the formula going forward? Because I'll tell you what I think. I think Cam, especially this week, continues to get ingratiated to the playbook. And I think he's not sharing snaps with PJ anymore. And PJ did great today. I think PJ did very well today. But a lot of people are already kind of mulling over the idea of us having, kind of doing a similar 2-quarterback thing where we kind of put PJ in on some plays and then on short yardage and goal line scenarios, put in Cam Newton. Look, maybe a lot of people think Cam Newton is a lesser quarterback, but I'm here to tell you I don't. I think if he had time and the kind of pocket that PJ had to throw behind today, I have no doubt in my mind that Cam Newton can make all the throws and do all the things that we need him to do to continue to put up these kinds of performances. So that's a question I'm interested for all of you to answer and everyone in the chat. What do the Panthers do going forward? Is it Cam going forward? Is it PJ, or are we running a 2-quarterback system?
It's Cam's
guys,
team.
I'll let you guys answer that. Who should start next week?
It's Cam's team, point blank. PJ did what he was supposed to do. PJ came in, and he was the backup quarterback. He played the game the way he needed to play it. He ran the system, and he held it over for Cam to get acclimated, and next week is Cam's team.
I do believe that Cam wants to start, right?
Oh yeah,
and
he didn't come here to be a backup.
Exactly.
Right, and I think that has, like you could see, this dude, despite being like he won't pout, but he didn't take his helmet off.
No,
he didn't take his helmet off one time.
He was ready to play this entire time, and my thought is next week kind of do something similar to what we did this week. Maybe lean a little bit more towards Cam. PJ is okay sitting behind Cam. He knew coming into whenever he got signed with the Panthers that he was going to be the backup to Cam at the time. He just wanted to play on the same team as the guy. He saw the heart that the guy has. So next week, put him in a couple more situations than he did this week, and then the following week, that's when full Cam, that sort of deal. But I also kind of do want to see PJ come in from time to time, maybe have both of them on the field at the same time in a couple of situations, sprinkled in there 2-3 times throughout each game. Because, they both have their own positives. They're both kind of a similar player in the aspect that they both like to run. But Cam's obviously a lot bigger. He can take more hits than PJ can. So
I want to go to this comment right here. Cam's arm is still dead. He underthrew one long pass that he was given. How do you guys feel about that? The ball is the reason we say that pass was underthrown is because Jonathan Vilma said that. Right, that's the first thing. Is like everybody. I don't think you were like, oh man, that guy. He had to come back to it. You know what I'm saying? He didn't stop running. He was also being held the whole time, and it hit him in the face. The ball hit him in the face. So it's not like. But is how do we try to figure out what Cam's, or do you guys have any questions? What does Cam need to show you about that shoulder strength going forward?
So I thought it was intentional. Because if you underthrow it a little bit, then the receiver has to come back to the football. Then that's how you draw pass interference. Like Aaron Rodgers does that kind of shit all the time. I don't think it was like Cam didn't have the arm strength to get the football downfield. Again, I think it's a timing thing. Once you give Cam some time, I don't think his shoulder is an issue like it was anymore. I think the pass was fine. I think that once he is able to get into a rhythm and get on the same page as the receivers, which I have no doubt will happen, man. Our receiving corps was so much visibly happier than they ever have been before. I think it's just a timing thing. Once Cam gets into the offense a little more, gets the playbook under Joe Brady, I think this is Cam's offense going forward. Then you look, I don't want to get too far ahead, but our next opponent, Chase Young, went down with an ACL tear today. They don't have Montez Sweat. They did a good job for us beating Tampa Bay, but listen, if you're going to put Cam Newton back under center as the full-time starter, there's never been a better time to do it than at home against the Washington football team.
Exactly.
Why does nobody sit around David Tepper? You
I
notice
just think,
that? He's
I
by
just think he
himself.
likes to and watch the game by himself.
I
And I
wonder,
mean,
is that
honestly, I'm like that. When I'm at home, I don't want anybody around me. I want to watch the game by myself, to everything I want to look at. I don't want anybody talking to me about something else. I want to just watch the game. So I can
Yeah, I'm
definitely.
the same way.
I agree, is that, I always find it's difficult to watch the game at the game. Like when you're at a game, like, I mean, you're there and you're watching every play. You're not paying attention, but you might be high-fiving. You might be jumping up and down, look down to do something, and then you miss something, or it's just so much to consume. Okay, I think that's a good point. I just, the reason I bring it up is because, David Tepper, we've had some questions about his patience and some things, is that today was probably very important to him. Or gratifying, satisfying, but let's just not act like he don't want to win against Ron Rivera next week.
Oh God, yeah.
Is that he don't want to come? Imagine not starting Cam and losing to Ron Rivera and Taylor Heineke at home.
No,
and letting PJ Walker throw interceptions. Which, by the way, he did have
or Cam starting and losing. Like, we can't lose next week. Like, that would, I think that David Tepper might fire everybody if that happened. Like right then, just move the team, dissolve it.
Well, that would kind of suck considering all the money he just put into that new facility in Rock Hill.
I know. There'll be the Rock Hill something. The thing that I did to think about this when we go to the call is the best argument that I have heard, or one that I will give some credence to, about Cam's arm strength and his viability of his shoulder. Because I think Cam has looked like he was throwing the ball just fine when he was in New England. I mean, it doesn't look like I saw a year or two where Cam didn't trust getting the ball to where it needed to get. I don't see that a ton. And I mean, the fact that he just threw that 40-yard bomb or whatever it was on the fly, I think that shows a lot about Cam and his ability to push the ball. But someone did point this out. It was after the Seattle Seahawks game last year, in the beginning of the season, where he led the comeback. He threw the ball 55 times. And it was after that. Then he got COVID. And they were talking about the amount of reps on, in that game being problematic. So you want to see this as Cam. Can he maintain the shoulder strength down the stretch? Is, I think, something that I would like to see. But Cam doesn't have to be the Cam of 2015 or 2012. Cam got away with a lot because he had a cannon, a bazooka, as Cody likes to say. But now, as he's growing and maturing in his career, we're going to need to see him adapt to his own body, right? And adapt to things going forward. And I got to tell you this, the damn dude looks good.
Yeah,
he does.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
yeah.
So, he seems nimble. He seems strong on that first
face.
touchdown.
His face looks like.
He's full vegan now. He's on that vegan diet. But dude, I thought he looked strong, and I thought he looked nimble too, man. On that first rushing touchdown, stiff armed the fool. Outran him to the right. Christian McCaffrey was blocking, just jotted on in. And then on that, the next touchdown, when he rolled to the right through the touchdown pass right to Robbie Anderson, he looked quick. He looked athletic. And then I know you want to play the cat calls, Tony. I'm remembering that, 2017, 2018 season where we had Norv Turner as our offensive coordinator, and Cam was looking different. Cam was playing. He was playing in rhythm. He was, he was really getting the ball out of his hands quick. And, then we had to worry about Cam Newton's arm and the shoulder. But now I think once Cam gets into a rhythm, throwing underneath, getting the ball out of his hand, I think those over-the-top shots, they're going to be there. And I don't think Cam is afraid to pull the trigger on those shots. We saw that today. And, he already did it once and he didn't have any practice time. So I think that we have yet to see the best of Cam Newton. Maybe I'm an optimist, But that's just how I'm living, baby. You can't change my mind.
I think you're exactly right, Cody. I really do. And also, minus Dennis Daly and his, I don't know what the guy was thinking. Minus that, the offensive line actually played decent.
Well, he got screwed on that call. That was not a holding call. You know, I mean, the one that he got upset about right before the false start. And then I think there was an argument that was just as much offsides as it was false start in that, like, I mean, there was a lot of movement there and it was hard to see who had started it. But that was not a holding call. Just like the Robbie Anderson pass interference, offensive pass interference. That was not pass interference. I mean, like, that was like it kind of felt like an NBA call where they're blowing the whistle. Whether or not they anticipated blowing the whistle at that point.
But what do you think of that Dante Jackson?
Didn't make any mistakes. I had no issues with Pat Elflein playing center.
Oh, that's a good point, Drew.
Is that who it was? It wasn't Tecklenburg?
No, that was Pat Elflein.
I had no issues with him at center at all.
I kind of think that's the move going forward. Leaving Pat Elflein at center, Michael Jordan on the left, or whatever formation they decide to go with. I think he looked a lot better. Our offensive line, look, it was between this game and Atlanta. Our offensive line, hopefully we can play a bird team every Sunday, because when we do, our offensive line straight up kicks their asses, man. So I love that performance. And you add on top Christian McCaffrey back, and Cam Newton invigorating the entire fan base. Tony Dunn, I cannot remember the last time I felt this good after a Panthers W.
Nick, I thought it was pass interference on Dante. I thought he was beat, but luckily he put his hand up right at the right time, and it kind of was a pass breakup at the same time. But I think that just kind of was luck. I think he knew he was beat, and he was just trying to save a touchdown at that point.
I think you're right on that one. I mean, it was close. It was just like, come on, man, pull back just a little bit.
Yep. All right, let's go get into the calls. Numbers 252-228-5098. Turn it up, Tony. Turn it up.
How did that make you feel? Very uncomfortable. So how do you think catcalling makes the person feel?
It feels good, like a 3 and a 4 and a who's that cat sitting in the back corner with his face buried in his nose?
Too loud.
Who's that kid that can use one?
Hey guys, this is John Jenkins. Oh my God, for 2 years I have been screaming, witness the Walker Wonder. Witness the Walker Wonder. Well, let me tell you something. Witness the Walker. Oh my God, Cam's back! Oh my God! Oh my God, did you see him score that touchdown? And then he threw another touchdown, and Robbie Anderson caught something, and then he caught something else. Oh my God, this is fucking awesome. Look, I love PJ Walker, but Cam is back. I cannot describe how this feels. I'm just so happy I can share this with you guys. Keep pounding. Go Panthers. I love y'all. Let's go, y'all.
Let's go. Keep pounding, man. Love it. Love that energy, man. That's how we all feel right now. Cam Newton is back. Our guy is back. Our QB1 is back. Man, we're happy to have this dude, man.
That call right there encapsulates what Cam has done for what he's always done for me, what he's done for a lot of Panther fans. And Cam Newton makes it so that cliche of any given Sunday is not. That's the reason. Cam's the reason they made that quote, because on any given Sunday, you roll with Super Cam and you got a chance to win. Let's go with the next call. Keep that also, energy, folks.
Jake Cryer said he emailed you a call.
Okay, awesome.
Chuck from Elizabeth City, a.k.a.
Hey, Tony, you want to turn it up just a little bit?
You know, when it's Friday night and you're at the booby club, you don't play to see the trash. You want the girl taking the stage that's got all the right moves. Cam Newton, he brought it. What's it been, 3 games? They scored 1 touchdown. Cam does 2 plays, and we scored 2 touchdowns. It's a beautiful thing, folks. Simply beautiful. And, hey, let's not forget I'm really impressed with Zane Gonzalez. We have a kicker, folks. But thank God, things are starting to look alive for us.
Yeah. Insane in the membrane. Insane in the brain. Hey,
now
bro,
who's got dad jokes?
I'm insane in the membrane, bro. I'm happy that that Zane Gonzalez has stepped up, man. We haven't talked about our piss poor kicker controversies in forever, man. Shout out Zane. He's bounced around a few different NFL teams, and maybe he's finally found his home here, man. I know kicking is a rough gig. Sometimes you're hot. Sometimes you can't miss. Sometimes you can't hit to save your life. Yeah, but I think that Zane has done a tremendous job. He continued the momentum. I mean, before Cam Newton, when we were still rocking with Sam Darnold, there was an argument to be made that Zane Gonzalez was the best part of our offense, putting up points. So, yeah, man.
He certainly was the most productive. One thing about Zane Gonzalez, well, first he's getting the ball out of the end zone. That was the one concern they had when they brought him in. They liked him a lot, but the kickoff, to the analytics people, not having kick returns, I guess, brings a level of security, or I don't know why it's actually that important, because I don't feel like a ton of kicks, even returns, get returned that well, but it does seem important to this coaching staff. And that was what Joey Sly always did, was boot it out the back of the end zone. The question about Zane was, did he have that leg strength? Well, he's been eating his Wheaties. He's been taking his protein shakes. And I think he might be smoking cigarettes and drinking beers, because he looks like he kicked like a kicker from the 1970s with that front kick style. Like he has the... When was the last time you saw a kicker just looking straight at the goal? He doesn't have the side dance thing. You know how they do the one back step this and they do this little pirouette? He just looks at it. He's like this and just kicks it straight like a dang Charlie Brown kick.
I was watching a video on that recently. I don't remember what year, but the soccer kick, they started doing the soccer kick. And whereas before they would line straight up, yeah, I don't know. Bro, you think Zane kicks that way?
Yeah, that's what he does. Yeah, like he has his shoulders are open to start. No, look at it next time. It's funny. It's like, man, it doesn't look. It's very simplistic. There is no wasted movement, but it looks like a kicker from the old days.
So I have his stats pulled up right now. Before today, he's hit 90% of his snaps, or he's hit 90% of his
90% of his kicks.
Yeah,
that's pretty dang good. He hasn't missed one since week one or the first day. I think remember the first two games he played, he may have had a miss or hit the post or something, but then he's like hit 15 straight or something.
Yeah, he's been doing really well.
He said
Vinatieri style. NFL's meant to test him for steroids.
Yep, that's what I am worried about that, to be honest. All right, let's go to the next call.
Hey guys, Chuck from Elizabeth City, aka Carolina.
Is this one we just listened to?
You know, when it's Friday night.
Yep, that is what we just listened to. Did I not load it? Jay, I ain't got your call yet.
I told you, man, you got to
hello, C3. This is Carl D.
Carl D.
I just have one thing. I have something to say. Oh, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. A beautiful day in the neighborhood. Won't you be mine? Could you be mine? Anyway, too bad I didn't get to call in. Y'all didn't have an actual show where you call it in when the ruler is back, Tony. Cody?
Yes, sir.
Say that again. The ruler is back.
We back, baby.
Oh, and by the way, guys, fellas, I want my credit, Tony. I love you to death, buddy, but you are not Cam's number one fan. I am his number one fan. Despite all getting killed by Panther fans, Patriot fans. I'm the one that sided with Cam. I'm the one that took a leap of faith and left with Cam. Where Cam went, where Cam goes, I went. And that interview that press conference, it was nothing new. Last year is when that Cam, y'all didn't see how mature Cam has gotten, but I did. That's the new Cam that I was trying to tell people. So let's do it, Panthers. Woohoo! Well, I speak to you guys pregame. I mean, not pregame, excuse me. After the game, let's get this win, Panthers. So next week, Cam can take over and lead us to the promised land.
To the promised land.
Cody, feeling good. Cam back in life. On Friday on the radio, I go on this radio spot, and my man, he said, I'm trying to think in the 8 years you've come on this radio show, how many negative things you may have said about Cam. And like the over under was like 0.5. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like never, he calls me Mama Cam, like Cam's greatest defender, all these different things. And this is how I went on the show. I was so pumped. He was like, look at that guy. But before I even came on, he just was like, man, he was introing the next segment, the next hour. He's like, this guy's just beaming.
Did you want to live react? Cam Newton and Robbie Anderson are both at the press conference right now. You want to hear some of it?
Yeah, let's bring it up. Oh, and how about we got our video demonetized, not because of the press conference, but because
it was that video that I played.
A combination of a great team win on the road. That was a great team that we played. And, just for it to come full circle, offensively, defensively, special teams.
Y'all can hear?
It's great work.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was so funny.
There's that Robbie smile.
I haven't seen that smile in a while.
Come true. To come to Carolina and then the brother come back. It's like really like a dream come true.
Well, Robbie, you had your frustrations of the last couple of weeks of great team smiling again. Can
Yeah.
you tell or walk us through that 2-yard touchdown?
We worked on that like a couple times. Me and Cam, to get the timing of it down. That was like one of the first routes that we ran on Friday. And, we just connected. We knew it was going to be there. Bro put on the money and we executed.
Cam, when you ran onto the field in your uniform, did your Superman kind of run and then you took a moment to kind of take everything in? What was going through your mind in that moment?
Man, God is good. I could tell you that. And it was something about the significance of today. All right. Not only the return, this is the last college game that I played. This was the stadium I played it at. This was the first NFL game I played at. And for me to come back, it was somewhat, you can't, it's crazy. God working in my life right now, and I ain't hiding away from it. But I tell you this, in this morning's devotion, I was reading about Moses, and God spoke to Moses in the desert. Where we at? You know what I'm saying? Come on. You got the desert, you got, obviously the Cardinals, speak on the Red Sea, no disrespect to, them, but I'm just floating at a all-time high frequency. It's almost scary. The conversations that I'm having, the people that I'm meeting, the things that I'm able to do, and I can't even take the credit. I don't want to take the credit. I refuse to take the credit. This is all God's work. And, to be able to, come into a situation, and I told Robbie, I was like, Robbie, bro, your energy off. You know what I'm saying? So for him to come in today and have the type of game where we just scratching the surface, you know what I'm saying? So it's so many emotions that's going on in my head right now. And I just want to be obedient to Coach Rule. I'm doing this with Robbie because I don't want to be the last one on the plane.
When you entered the end zone for the first time, you took off your helmet, yelled, "I'm back." Describe those emotions for you in that moment.
Well, I put it like this. This time last week, I was eating a bowl of cereal. Like, you feel me? So I told
And
Coach
I ain't
Williams,
eaten cereal in 8 years.
that was on me. But yeah, I mean, I was eating cereal last week. You know what I mean? So that just puts things into perspective. You know, after going to church, being with my children, and really not even watching football. It was just about maximizing the person that I need to be. And so for that, it was just all just a rush of emotions. But yet, I know a lot of people in the media, the titles of the newspaper, the blogs, and things like that, they want to make it about me. It's not about me. And I keep saying it's not about me. This was an impeccable team win. I'm so proud of PJ for him to, look down the barrel on so many different times and deliver the ball, as well as, everybody pulling together. It was exciting for us as a team to, as an offense, to take turns making plays. And then when we didn't, it showed. It was real sloppy football. But yeah, through it all, man, I ain't got no complaints.
Man, what did you do today?
2 touchdowns worth.
Based on what you said, eating a bowl of cereal last week and what you've been through the past 2 years, happened in New England and Latham last year, all the Panthers. You feel like yesterday's price is not today's price based on these 2 touchdowns you got today?
Price going up. Angel investor. That's Kanye. Yeah. Shout out to the Donda.
Robbie, you said it was a dream come true.
Mm-hmm.
Thursday, when you found out everything was going down.
I ain't ever seen a dual press conference like this in Carolina.
Yeah. That's a first.
Like be kind of just excited. Me and DJ talked about it, and we kind of like heard that bro was in the building, so we figured, and then DJ checked his Apple Watch and saw it. We was just, happy and excited. The crazy thing about it, like bro re-signed back on 11/11. You know what I'm saying? So
man, it's so much, bro. You can put a microscope and compare yourself to the real facts of how you want to look at it, and it ain't by happenstance. And
we gotta love Cam's wording every time.
Is to
it's
hold
the best.
Accountable. I told Robbie that, I told DJ that, I told C-Mac that, I told Q-Jack that, I told Gilmore that, I told numerous players as well as coaches. Like, I'm no different than anybody else, and I want people to hold me accountable. I think the thing that I've learned as growth is, who cares who gets the glory? Because at the end of the day, when you got a game like this, we all win, right? And as we keep progressing in the season, we got a big game coming up, which is our most important game. We're going to need a great week of practice, everybody pulling in the same direction and playing Carolina Panther football. That's not mistake-free. That's just doing your job, when your job is required for you to do it.
So you have scripted it any better, though? I mean, to come out the first 2 times you touched the ball, you're accounting for a touchdown, and the energy that you mentioned, I mean, it's almost like a Hollywood script.
Man, I'm telling you, you can't make up a lie. It's good, And I was talking to JJ, and it's a number of players that kind of get.
Robbie's like, I'm about to go get on the airplane, Cam.
JJ knows.
Yeah, you talk a lot, Cam.
They know, my impact. And that's not to say that's something that I've created. I'm just blessed to be in a community that has accepted me with open arms. And who knew how today was going to happen? But I'm just trying to do my part. I refuse to just take full credit because I wouldn't have got down there without PJ on a third down with C-Mac being resilient throughout the whole time. It's so many things that it's easy for people to kind of look over, but yet, I really should thank C-Mac, and he gonna, 2 times he got me down to the 1-yard line, and I just ate the scraps. So.
Yeah, he did. I mean, you thought he was going to get in all them times. All right.
That is just, man, I'm thanking for the opportunity, and
this is important. First impression, go.
My first, dude, I mean, I love how comfortable he is. I think he's just excited to be back on, excited to be back playing football. And I think he's happy to be answering questions again. I think he looks relaxed, man. I'm loving it. I'm liking it.
And he always brings it back to the team. Everything Cam talks about, he brings it back to the team. It's never about him. It's about the team and what the team needs to do. And I mean, you can't. It galvanizes people, and we saw it out on the field today. Not only the offense, but the defense, the special teams. We have not seen a Panthers all-around team win where they all seem to be, as you say, pushing in the same direction. And it was great to see, great to hear, and I am just pumped looking forward to the rest of this year.
Nick, first reaction?
Dude, I love it, man. I love it. You know, he definitely stole the spotlight from Robbie, but I'm okay with that. With how Robbie's played, you know, he looked good today. He finally looked like he was catching the balls, that sort of deal. But, you know, it's good to see Cam back. And Cam, a positive Cam, too.
Pull it back up by audience request, Cody.
All right.
I want to come back to Drew's comment about the team. That's my first impression. For the man who is most meticulous in his outfits, look what he's wearing.
Yeah. No, see, the thing is, I ain't want to double up. So you ain't see the pregame Steves. See, this postgame Steve. You got to catch up to my mustard. You did.
He was looking fresh. I got the picture of it.
I got you. I didn't hear the question.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just asking how far along you were on nicknames.
Man, we ain't there yet. Keep in mind now, my first day at work was on Thursday. That's a work week. And you get to sit down and
Robbie got some funny faces.
My dog, he know of me. He don't really know me yet. It's gonna take a couple more cigars, couple more dinners. I paid last night. Next one gonna be on him.
He's like, I ain't paying shit.
That's what I'm doing. In the field, everything public knowledge. Nah, you know, I'm still broke.
How much does this offense need the energy and the fun that Cam brings?
I think like 1,000%. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, he hit the walk-off, man. That's the second time in a row. Cam hit the mic drop on the final question, bro.
They both left. Bobby's like, I'm out of here. I didn't want to answer these questions anyway.
Cam Newton is a fucking legend, man.
Yeah. He and I want to pull up. Can you pull up the picture of his outfit from the pregame?
Yeah, I got you.
And I wanted to go. I'm about to go back and listen and try to identify what that question was. But like Drew was saying, he mentioned the team a lot. He mentioned wanting to. What was the word he used for like be obedient to Matt Rule? And you know, we've had some questions about is Matt Rule's team speeches and team and process and this and that, and then is it almost too sappy? Is it almost too salesman-y? Is it too cliche? I mean, look, yeah, actually, I mean, like that's actually very reserved for Cam. The Cam looked like kind of like that's banker Cam.
That black and white though, with the little red handkerchief in his pocket, that's fire, yo, boy. That's fire.
I ain't never seen Cam Newton in a post-game interview not have his full outfit on. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think the only time ever was maybe in the Super Bowl, right, where he had like just a hoodie on or whatever. I cannot remember a time. Like, it's important to Cam. Like, that's just something he gets up for, is like having his outfits right. And this is not just him. A lot of people. He actually set the kind of tone for a lot of it. But he wore that Panther logo out there today. Mentioned the team.
Yeah.
And I got to say this is that I hope, you know, when Cam's talking about the devotional stuff and kind of, God putting him in this place. You got to be wondering if there was a moment of fear for Cam that his opportunity to be a great football player was over. Because for some reason, people always tell me this, is that there's a reason Cam ain't on the team. He ain't got it nowhere. There's a reason. And I don't believe that. I didn't believe that. But if you say it long enough and you hear it enough, it starts to be hard to refuse, And I got to say, even for Cam Newton, that has to wear on you, right? Is like, and I have said since he left, I just want Cam to have one last good run. Don't want the memory of Cam. The final memory for me, it was, what was that game that we were at? We came after where he hurt his foot.
But I'm telling you, man, we have a mix up here. That was not his final game. We didn't meet up for his final game. His final game was Monday night against Tampa, and that was a terrible game. And then
it was a Thursday night.
Yeah, Thursday night. And then the game that you came to my house for, Tony, that was you came for the
Was that the week before? Because there was only 2 games. Oh, so that was week 1 was the Rams.
And then week 2 was the last time we saw Cam. But yeah, you're right. Like now no one ever has to look at that game as Cam Newton's final performance as a Carolina Panther. So that's cool. But
imagine if he was part of a playoff run for this team.
Especially this year.
This year. I just think that would mean a lot to his legacy. It would be a lot to his storyline for Carolina. And you, like he's saying, you can't script it better than this. It's interesting, Cam, he's always got great, if you guys think, you say I got wackadoo metaphors. He got some good ones too. I love his. I take a cue from Cam every now and then. Interesting.
I really wish I was going to this game next week. I really do, because I was at Cam's last home win at Bank of America Stadium, which was against Tampa Bay, when they blew Ryan Fitzpatrick and the Buccaneers out by they put up 40 points on them. I was at that game, and I wish I could get down there.
And you know what? The good news is that it doesn't seem like this is going to be the last win for Cam in a Carolina jersey. And depending on how successful it is this year, they're going to actually look. Is that this was the nail in the coffin in Sam Darnold's coffin? Like, if you didn't believe, if I had to try to convince people that he would never play for the Carolina Panthers again, and they were like, nah, the money, this and that. It's like, if you don't think that this moment today was the time of death for Sam Darnold in Carolina, like, it has been announced, right? So now you got to start thinking about this, is that as we continue to win, more and more we're going to be out of the running for a draft pick that could equivocate or equal a quarterback next year. So you're going to be thinking about this, is you got to be thinking free agency, right? Is the Carolina Panthers are going to have to make a quarterback addition via free agency. And
it'll be Cam Newton.
That's what it's looking like it will be. As long as if there's any modicum of success going forward and you believe that Cam can give you a full season or 2, I think that's more reasonable than bringing a Russell Wilson or an Aaron Rodgers or Deshaun Watson here, right? And imagine how bad Carolina would look if you made a playoff run and you didn't bring Cam back.
Well, listen, man, like, again, maybe I'm just too optimist. I'm too much of an optimist, but I'm on record. We have not yet seen the best Cam Newton that there is to see. Give this man some time, man. Let him get acclimated to Joe Brady's offense. Let Christian get cooking again. Let DJ and Robbie Anderson form the kind of bond that we've always wanted them to form, man. And again, Tony, I've said this a number of different places, man. I see it amongst people in our own fan base, people in the media, there's this idea that, hey, man, Cam isn't the player that he was 10 years ago, but, he can be serviceable. He can be just enough. No, bullshit, bro. He's only 32 years old. That's younger than Aaron Rodgers. That's younger than, Ben Roethlisberger. It's not like Cam Newton is some rusted and weathered old man. In fact, I could make the case that he's in the prime of his career from a physical standpoint. A man is in his prime strength years between the ages of 28 and 35 years old. That's where Cam Newton is right now, man. Give him some time. And listen, we're not even going to be thinking about bringing in another quarterback at the end of this season, man. Cam's going to do it, y'all. I don't care. I'm on one. I believe in my quarterback. Cam's it, man.
Cam's it. I'm not sure if it was David Newton that wrote it, but there was an article on ESPN.com this morning saying that the Panthers are going on the fact that Sam Darnold won't play again this season. And if Cam shows progress and moves the team, that Cam will be brought back to compete for the starting job next season.
So, does that mean that he's going to be back on a one-year deal, or is it going to be a multi-year contract? Because
I honestly don't think Cam will come back on a one-year deal. If Cam Newton comes back to Carolina next year, it'll be on a minimum of a 2-year deal.
Yeah, I could see an argument. I could definitely see an argument for a 3-year deal. That's what I would want if I was Cam.
Because basically,
I feel like that's fair.
A 2.5-year deal. He played this season, and you give him 2 more years. So,
yeah, but Tony, you're right though. Anyone telling you that Sam Darnold is ever going to play another snap for the Panthers, I don't give a damn. David Tepper will not let that happen, especially if he has better options available to him. And yeah, if Cam balls out this year, dude, it's going to happen. Just like after we paid Christian, we were like, look, it made all the dollars and cents in the world. Because at that time, everyone had left. There was no Cam, Luke, Greg Olsen. You had to have Christian McCaffrey. Well, listen, don't you think David Tepper has already seen that the Washington football game is already sold out and that fans are now excited about the Panthers again, man? Like, it made all the dollars and cents in the world. And Sam Darnold playing another snap for us makes minus dollars. Okay?
I don't even know if he is could ever dress. Like, I don't even think there's a world where could you just say, Sam, you're going to be a backup quarterback? Maybe that's what you do. Interesting. It's just interesting to me that in one moment, the Sam Darnold, this game alone put the Sam Darnold question forever to bed.
For sure.
Sorry, Tony. I'm not sure how the salary cap works, but I know that Sam Darnold's contract is fully guaranteed for next season. If they cut him, that's still the dead cap just is for next season alone, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so then I honestly see them cutting him. Nobody's going to trade for him. You don't want to attach assets to move him. I just straight out cut him and take the $18 million dead cap hit next season and be done with it.
There's a case to be
you have to pay him regardless.
There's a case to be made that Sam Darnold these past few weeks has been the worst quarterback in football. The worst.
Actually, I wouldn't say there's a case. I think it's pretty clear.
Yeah, it's
is that it would be hard to make a case that there's somebody else worse. That's our debate, our take for Wednesday. Make a case for someone else being worse than Sam Darnold. All right, let's go. Let's go to Europe and talk to Jay Cryer, my boy, and a big time Cam Newton fan.
Yeah, boys, it's Jay coming from Costa Rica these days.
Costa Rica now. He's a world
what
traveler.
A blast from the past today. Felt like, I loved that team for so many years, but I'd only known Cam as the quarterback, and he was always the biggest player on the pitch, a leader. I just struggled, watching a team where the quarterback was just another guy, just one of the players. Cam's, he's my hero. So glad to have him back. Now I'm closer to Carolina. I'm going to pop over for one of the games, so I'll catch all the boys. Loving the show and everything. Just keep pounding, boys. Tony, happy birthday for yesterday. Can't believe you're 40, mate.
I know.
Yeah, just Big love to everyone, and keep.
That's my brother right there, Jay Cryer. It's good to hear your voice. Good to hear you closer to us now, because then that is going to happen. And it is good to have, like I declared, I don't even know if I mentioned it. I was trying to get to it, but I'm sometimes meander through my own thoughts. When I was on the radio, Pirate Radio yesterday, I said my opening segment was, I officially declare the pandemic over. And the world has returned to normalcy because Carolina has Cam Newton at the helm again, right? It's Cam Newton's in the In fact, the last time Cam Newton wore a Carolina jersey was before the pandemic erupted, right? I mean, it was 29. I mean, that was the end. And then all of a sudden you cut Cam, you go on to somewhere else, and the whole world fell to pieces. The whole world fell to pieces when Cam Newton was not wearing number 1 in Carolina. The next thing I do want to mention to people listening, thank you for your support in the chat room. Go ahead and smash the thumbs up button. We're here on Tuesday night, longest running Panthers podcast out. We've got the C3B check on Wednesday, debate my take on Wednesday, Friday, free for all on Friday. I mean, there's a lot of Panther content coming out. It's a good time to be part of this community. You can do that just by jumping in the chat room, calling at 252-228-5098. And tomorrow, when you go to work, dab on somebody. That's what I'm going to do. I was dabbing at the bar. It's a good time. The thing though that's funny about Cam, and I spent a good amount of energy being a Cam defender. I used to always say, I got to sharpen my Twitter sword. I'm over here running the whetstone over my samurai sword. I'm about to go defend Cam Newton on Twitter. I'm a knight for Cam Newton. But I told people this is because they always want to be like, oh, he's not the best passer. Oh, he's not this. He's not this. He could be, and like it was always nitpicking Cam to death. And my end of my argument for all of this is I was like, fine, he doesn't have the highest completion rate. Fine. He could say this, you could say that. I was like, but life with Cam is better than life without Cam in Carolina. And tell me that has not been the case over the past 2 years. And even when he was here with injury, the whole point was this, is that when Cam was hurt, you were talking about that we didn't have him. Life without Cam sucks.
Yeah.
Until you find somebody else that can be Cam or be that type of player, and they're hard to find, bro. They are hard to find. Look at this. It's Tua Tagovailoa is a guy that you think, or many people I thought could come in and be a franchise quarterback. I thought that this guy could succeed at the NFL level, and to be honest, I don't think they've given him a fair enough chance in Miami. But they have already quit on him. They quit on him before he even started, right? So it's hard to find the guy. And so life without Cam is tough. You are wandering through the desert. We've been wandering. He ain't been the only one wandering through the desert. We've been in a desert ourselves.
We've been out there with him.
Damn, manna. We needed some manna from heaven. I think we got it.
Before we go forward, before we take this next call, we don't have CK's silky smooth golden voice, so you'll have to deal with my annoying one. But we have 226 people watching right now. 149 thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up button, y'all. Hit the like. Hit the subscribe. That helps us be seen by more and more people. It has never been a better time to be a fan of the Carolina Panthers, man. And this is where you come hang, man. This is the hangout. This is where the cool kids stay, okay? So hit the like, hit the subscribe, hang out with the boys at C3. You already know what it is. It's that subscriber shame, baby. Let's go.
All right, next call.
Hey, y'all, this is G. Cavazzi. Yeah.
Oh, man, I know my man's happy.
What a fucking dominant game. Oh, my God. Yeah. I know everyone's happy, man. Everyone's happy. You know what I'm saying? Cam looked pretty good because Cam, you know what I'm saying? Man crush. That's my dog. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So many phones to go around, but you know what? I'm going to give a big shout out to PJ Walker That motherfucker balled. You know,
He
he
did.
got one interception, whatever, and I'll let that shit slide. But that motherfucker got us in the position to fucking score, like for real. I mean, hey, hats off to him and hats off to the offensive line, man.
I know.
We didn't give up but one fucking sack, and I know they rotate pieces around, you know, and I know Dennis Daly had a couple of damn calls against him or whatever, but the offensive line looked pretty fucking good, man. They gave time for the quarterback to damn throw. They fucking was, when we went to run, they was opening up lanes or whatever. Offensive line looked pretty damn fucking good. And I just felt the fucking energy, man. You know what I'm saying? And Cam, hey, man, that motherfucker is back, and he looked pretty damn good, man. He really did. And Christian McCaffrey played his fucking ass off, man. He had more damn yards than the whole Arizona damn team. So, hey, we 5-5. You know what I'm saying? We back to a 500 team, man. Hey, man. Hey, I am not complaining, man. I got a big smile on my face. I know y'all do too, man. And welcome back, Cam. Man crush. You know, hey, keep pounding.
Yeah, there's probably some New England people in our chat right now. I just want to say this: you can't ruin our day. Cam in Carolina is right. The world is back to normal. And I don't care about your cheating ass, dirty ass, whack Jones, McCorkle. You can keep your McCorkle. I got Cam Newton on my side, baby. I got Cam Newton on my side, and it's nice, man. Isn't this nice?
Your quarterback is on some sucker shit, bro.
There's a reason why I'm not a New England fan anymore, man. There's
Going for leg locks and shit. Dude, and how about this? The NFL said that they're not going to fine him.
Yeah.
That they didn't deem that there was anything, out of bounds.
Not surprising.
How fucking dumb, dude. Listen, and by the way, to every Patriot fan in here, once we get rolling again, once we get Cam Newton in here again, y'all never beat a Cam Newton-led team, and you wouldn't do it again. And you wouldn't be able to play this defense how it's playing now. It would be a night and day different game. So you Patriot-hating motherfuckers can fuck on out of here. You're mad that we have Cam Newton and that you have whack-ass Jones. So
who had a good game today? He had a good game. You know what? They can both be happy. Y'all can be happy, and I can be happy. And I tell you this, is that's a lot easier. I like Cam Newton even when he was in New England. You know, I was kind of rooting for him as a player. But again, the world is right where I get to go back to 100% hating the Patriots. And I got to tell you is that y'all not only are your cheaters, but y'all cheaters stick together, bro. I tell you this, I give them credit for that. Not a damn person in the world goes, oh, it's all right to just do that. And then they're like, oh, man, he didn't twist. Did you see that people made a video about us?
About
that was
us?
awesome.
What do you mean about us? No, about like us?
A Patriots channel, and it's good too. I ain't gonna lie. It's talking shit. I sent it to you. I said
maybe I didn't see it.
Gotta watch it. You gotta watch the stuff I send you. I don't send a lot.
Did you send it to the Twitter?
Yep. All right, let's go to the next call.
Yo, what's good? C3 is JD54. Yeah, man, it's going into the fourth quarter, almost the end of the third, and I'm having a conversation with my wife, and I just found out that she is not a Carolina Panthers fan. She is simply a Cam Newton fan. I was actually somewhat shocked, but in the end, I'm not. But yeah, man, I'm Cam Newton back, Panthers back, baby. Let's go. Keep pounding.
Let me ask you this: what does this change? And I'll start with Drew, and then you can pass the mic to whoever you'd like. What does this change about the trajectory of this, or the potential of this team this year?
This team's projection at this point is limitless. I mean, right now we're right in the thick of the playoff hunt, and I'm gonna tell you, the more time Cam Newton has in this offense, if we get into the playoff, there's nobody in the playoffs that want to see us coming. Nobody, because that defense travels, and Cam Newton is all about win. He's already said it. I am all about winning. And nobody wants to see Carolina in the playoffs. So they're hoping and praying that some way, somehow, we don't make it in. And so, hey, I just think this team's potential is limitless at this point. These boys are like, they believe in Cam. They believe in where he's wanting to go, and they're going to follow him.
Yes, sir.
So, I mean, what I've seen is both the Patriots and the Cardinals have a top 10 defense. Okay. Last year we came out, we fell flat on our face. This week we have Cam Newton, we have PJ Walker, and we come out and we pitch what is essentially a shutout. So, I mean, I think it speaks for itself. The fact that we just tore up one of the best defenses in the NFL with a guy who's only been here for 3 days. I can't wait to see
It
what
shows
the
you how he's just so hard to defend on the goal line. There's a reason Cam Newton has the most rushing touchdowns of any quarterback in history. You know what I mean? It's like an impossible – it's like the idea of what people want when you run the Wildcat. You don't have to run the wild. You are running the Wildcat. It just happens to be your quarterback is like the most deadly running goal line presence. And I can't believe – that there is really, I mean, you got to wonder in the history of football, if you like had to get a touchdown on the goal line, who a better person to go to would be, right? I mean, you got to think there's got to be 4 or 5 people in the history of football that are like, you know, I mean, it's like Jerome Bettis type thing, you know, you give it to the bus, that type of. Cam is a guy that it's like, 99 out of 100 times he can get it if you needed just that one touchdown on the goal line. So it's fun. It's fun to see Cam back. And boy, he made it just look easy, didn't he? Yeah. Right down then. And I thought that they used him. I knew they were going to do this, but they were ready to use him, man. They wanted to use him today. They had the packages ready. They trotted him out in the press conference today. They are not shying away from hitching their wagon now to Cam Newton. And for me, I was ready to leave this team for dead last week. The 2 games that I saw against the Giants and the Patriots, we were so bad, so bad that I thought even the defense couldn't even help us get better. But I tell you, you know who's a plane ride has to be easy for is a defense now who's created turnovers in the opposing team's territory that didn't go to waste this week.
How about Hassan Reddick? Dude,
man, the first play of every game, he gets a sack. Like it's like he just gets it away.
I think he's at 9.5 sacks on the season. So I mean, yeah, he's doing big things. I mean, he's our best pass rusher on the team right now. And I feel like every game he makes one play that's just big time for us, man. We had a fumble recovery. Dante Jackson had an interception. We got points off of turnovers, man. We played complimentary football. And I think one thing that we probably all can agree on at this point, we damn sure better pay Hassan Reddick as soon as this season's over, man. Like, we cannot let this dude out the door. Like, he has come in here. A lot of people thought he was a one-year wonder. His final year in Arizona, as that was the only time that he ever really put up big-time sack totals. And, dude, he's on pace. He's going to break his sack record, his own personal sack record from last year. Hassan Reddick
He's going to get paid $1 billion, dude. He's going to get paid $1 billion. He's gotten a sack in every game.
And you know what? Awesome. If he keeps playing like this, he's worth $1 billion, okay?
God. Their impact plays, a lot of their impact plays too. So, yeah, Hassan Reddick was hyped for him. And you know what? That meant something to him probably going back to Arizona and doing that. There's some validation right there for a team that, and you know, that didn't really know how to utilize them in the beginning. They did figure it out last year, but they decided that they weren't going to allocate that money. But he's been productive, and I think he wants to be with Phil Snow. You know, is this. And now I was actually worried that he wouldn't want to come back because of how bad the team was. And I thought it was good. But if we can not quit this season because of the addition of Cam, then I think that all of a sudden that this defense has a chance to continue to bring back a Hassan Reddick, to bring back a Stephon Gilmore. Let's go to the next call. And then after this call, we'll bring in the Bat Daddy.
All right.
Cam.
Cam Woo! Oh, I'm so ready. Anyways, how'd y'all think Pat Eflin did? Keep pounding.
Oh, keep pounding. Curveball question at the end right there. And without further ado, we'll welcome this man. You know him, you love him. He's the stat daddy. He's the bat daddy. Our boy Greg. Greg, how you feeling, bro?
Man, I am feeling great, dude. Keep fucking pounding, Panthers
Let's
fans.
go,
This was the day.
man.
You know, my wife was getting ready for work when the game was going on, and just she had been there for Cam's big inning. I told her, I said, it's so great. Cam's 2 for 2 for 2 touchdowns, or 2 plays, 2 touchdowns. Like,
Yeah.
you can't get any better than this. And of course, you know, he wasn't going to play the whole game, but man, it just felt different, didn't it? Everything about it felt different. The team feels like it has a energy struck into it again. They feel like they want to win and they can. Oh, I finally get to wear a jersey again on Sundays. Everything's man. This is the best Sunday of the year so far.
It is nice. We are back to normalcy. The pandemic is over, folks. Cam Newton is back at home. Let's keep going with these calls.
C3, what's up, Cody? What's up, Tony? I'm so happy, man. I've been happy in a long, long time. Just having Cam back is a difference, man. He's putting juice on the offense. He injecting some juice into the defense. This is a different team. We are a threat to the NFL, baby. We are back. This is a difference. He's bringing leadership.
Let's go.
Something Sam Darnold couldn't do. Sam Darnold need to sit on the bench and take a lesson from Cam. Man, I'm so happy. He's just bringing that fire, that desire. Everybody's playing motivated on the offense and defense. Man, I'm just so happy. I just got a loss for words. All right, I'm out.
I don't want to be. I don't want to kick a man while he's down when it comes to Sam Darnold, particularly on the leadership kind of component. Because look, is that it's hard to be a leader when you haven't had any success. You know, it's hard. Like, I mean, is that. You know, Sam Darnold, no one believed in him, and including himself, arguably. So, like, to him to rally the troops was kind of an impossible task. You know, it's just like, I mean, like, that would be the worst speech. Like, you'd be like, do you remember what was that video that was floating around the internet? And it was a coach, and it was a college coach giving the speech, and he was trying to get them all pumped up, and like nobody was paying attention. They were like, they had been terrible, and they're like, and he like goes to give a high five, and nobody puts their hands in. They just all walk away. That's like asking Sam Darnold to be a leader. Cam, though, has the pedigree. He has the history. He's an NFL MVP, right? He's had success. He's been a leader. And I think he is a natural leader. So that's important. I do want to circle back to that question about Pat Eflin. Today's, interestingly, Cam Newton just being in the building made our offensive line better. And he didn't even have to be on the field, and they were better. Right? Now, we could say that maybe this is guys starting to get a little bit more opportunity. Who was the guy who played? Was Dennis Daly playing left tackle?
Yeah, Dennis Daly was playing left tackle.
What in the world? How, man, this is, I tell you, you got to go deep into the well to say, hey, who thought Dennis Daly was going to play a snap of left tackle this year? Right. Nobody.
I mean, I wouldn't have guessed it, but I wouldn't have ruled it out either, especially with Matt Rule's I-85 comment. You know, it's like everybody's just kind of getting in with it, getting good on offensive line. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. Listen, we've all been, I feel like, very critical of Cam Irving and Pat Elflein, especially when Elflein's playing guard. But you know, Matt Rule being the type of guy that likes position versatility, you know, I think, you know, me and Drew might have talked about this at one point during one of the free-for-alls, I think. But that might be the change needed for Pat Elflein, man. Just let him ride at center. If that's where he can be successful and you know, really move people around and boss people around like Matt Rule says they love about Pat Elflein, that he has that grinder, wrestler kind of personality, then hey, I'm down for it, man. We need a center. Pat Elflin could be just what the doctor ordered. I think he looked much better at center, and I personally hope that we try and keep him there.
Exactly.
That was one of the reasons I think we brought him in because of he's played guard and center. We talked about this on Debate My Take a few weeks ago when we were discussing if he needed to be moved to IR. And it was his past at playing center that was basically the centerpiece of my argument why he should remain on the team, because if a guy like Matt Paradis got hurt, you need someone that can play. And that's exactly what happened. Last week, though, we put Tecklenburg out there, and it was very, again, Matt Rule. I hope he comes out and says that Cam had a bad game. That's what I need him to do. Yeah, I need Matt Rule to come out and not give him, if he gives a Cam a single compliment.
Reverse Jackson.
I think that means he's going to not play him. Is that if he comes out and says Cam was awesome, then you can go ahead and put PJ Walker in as your starter next week. Because last week he was talking about Sam Tecklenburg playing center. He said, I just don't remember any plays where I was like, Sam got beat. He got beat. And then guess what? He didn't start this week.
There is no planet where Cam Newton is not starting at Bank of America Stadium next week against Washington.
Agreed.
I know.
I think so too. I think so too. Hey, by the way, a really cool photo. Somebody sent it to me as like a burn because it was doing it to Isaiah Simmons, who, I wanted the Panthers to draft. He's a Clemson guy. But dude, tell me this photo
today.
Tell me this photo isn't incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, come on, man. And Cam Newton just running him over, going into the end zone, man. By the way, this is Cam Newton's first play back as a Carolina Panther, and he's going into the end zone, dude.
And he should have been tackled in the backfield too. He should have been tackled.
Yeah, he should have been, dude. But he had that power.
He can't be.
That strength. Yeah, you can't tackle Super Cam, man. Come on.
So I want to ask, I put this in the chat room. We were talking earlier right before the game. And just to throw the idea out there, and it's dumb. I know it's not true, but what if, just what if Matt Rule is actually a mastermind? Okay. And he's like the Lex Luthor of the NFL. And instead of coming in and having Cam and knowing that he can't put the weapons around Cam to make this team what it needs to be, he can't tank because everybody can see that. Let's just get rid of Cam for a couple of years, get all the players we need around him, then bring him back and have the master team. Like, what if he's the mastermind and that was his plan to get around tanking? It's like when you cut out a light in traffic, you're still getting the same point, but you kind of cut out that corner. The cops still pull you over for it. It's really stupid. But yeah, what if he's that mastermind, y'all? What if it's revealed at the end of the season?
The one thing I'm going to say about that is, with who Cam is as a player, we're lucky that he's even on the roster right now.
Yes.
And that nobody else really picked him up besides the Patriots, who just got lucky with Mac Jones. I'm going to stick to it. They just got lucky with Mac Jones because he just fits their system. And that's about it. I don't like Mac Jones as a quarterback. I don't think that he's that great of a quarterback. I think it's the players around him that make him what he is. So that's just my 2 cents on that.
Yeah.
Cody, I thought that Isaiah, every time I saw Isaiah Simmons out there, he was getting smoked by Christian McCaffrey today.
Yeah, Christian pretty much had
no chance against him, man. Is that one across the middle where he just gave a little left, like he was going to go towards the outside. Like, he had Isaiah Simmons lost, bro. He had him all turned around. Like, there was no chance. He had no chance. I asked if Judon had any sacks. Someone said no, which is interesting if that's the case, because before this game, Hassan Reddick was at 8.5 sacks. So if he only got 1 in this game, he goes up to 9.5, which then would move him to 3rd in the league in sacks, and only behind Myles Garrett, TJ Watt. Right now, he was behind this. These are the guys ahead of him right now, or before today. Garrett, Watt, Golden, which he didn't get a sack today because we didn't give up any sacks. that I know of against Arizona. Landry, Judon, and then Reddick. So big day, man. Like Reddick is at the top of the list, and these are big time names. He's ahead of Leonard Floyd. He's ahead of Chandler Jones. He's ahead of Robert Quinn. He's ahead of Nick Bosa, Shaq Barrett. He's having a good damn year, dude.
Yeah,
he is.
I mean, we still have how many games? What was this week? This is our 9th game. There's still 8 more games. Is that right?
Yeah. Let me be certain.
And guys, not to get ahead of ourselves, but I remember last week we were talking about the rest of the schedule, and we were like, yeah, that back end is a murderer's row. Honestly, I'm not feeling that threatened by that back end anymore.
It's getting easier each week that passes, right? The Giants.
Every team we have to play on that back end, our defense will travel. And now that we're going to have a competent offense to go along with it, Washington just beat the Buccaneers. Jacksonville just beat Buffalo. We've already beaten the Saints.
Yeah.
I'm
they're not getting better. You know, they're not. We played the Saints when they had Winston, where they actually could. You know, they're getting worse.
And now they're playing Trevor Simeon and Hill at quarterback. So I'm looking at our back end schedule, and I'm like, hey, if our defense keeps playing the way that they're playing, and Cam comes back, and we have a competent offense to play complementary football, I like our chances.
I do too, man. That's a fantastic point, Drew. I mean, we beat the Cardinals today, and we all thought that was going to be one of the toughest games on our schedule, right? But we came away with a great time.
We did get them limping, though.
Yeah. We got them limping. Hey, man, you have to play the team in front of you.
But Tony,
you have to play the
they
team
were
in
out
front.
without Kyler Murray, and they didn't have DeAndre Hopkins. Neither one of those two play defense.
Yeah, I mean, I'm of the mindset, though, that going forward, Drew, look, everything that we want is out in front of us, man. We play the Washington football team, the Miami Dolphins. We get a bye, and then we play Atlanta, and we go home to play Atlanta. This is a perfect opportunity for the Panthers to get hot, boy. Let me tell you. I mean, going into those final 4 games on the road against Buffalo, then Tampa, New Orleans one more time, Tampa Bay again. Like, man, if we can find our rhythm, then the sky is the limit, man. Our defense travels, like Drew said. We've been playing fast and aggressive. And then one more thing I wanted to pinpoint on our defense, another fantastic performance from Shaq Thompson, who had 6 tackles, 1 sack, 2 quarterback hits, 2 pass breakups. Our defense is playing their best football right now. We still have one of the very best defenses in all of the NFL. Oh, yeah, and we're still hoping that at some point we're going to be hearing news that J.C. Horn is going to be coming back to the football team. The Panthers are getting healthy.
I don't think. You think that's really going to happen this year?
Yeah.
If we go into the playoffs,
why wouldn't it? He's definitely. If we have a chance to make the playoffs, there is 0 chance that J.C. Horn isn't beating down David Tepper's door or whoever's door that's going to make the decision to let him play. Of course,
if you add him to this team, like I don't even know.
Nightmare fuel.
Yeah, like I mean, it's like kind of absurd. It's like a gluttony of riches in the secondary. I mean, the fact I got some questions about C.J. Henderson, why he is not playing at all. But you know what? I'm not. The only reason I have those questions or even care is just because I want the move to work and be like also like some great end game. But the Keith Taylor guy, isn't that what his name is? This guy's been playing good. I mean, he's been playing good. Like, I mean, and you got to get those rookies. You got to surround them with other guys that make their jobs easy, right? So a rookie, you don't put too much on a rookie, in my opinion, right? Is that it's okay when you got Gilmore out there and this, and then all of a sudden Taylor can thrive, right? Like, do you guys remember from the Super Bowl team, Ricky Manning Jr. was awesome, but he was awesome because he was around other people that made his life easy. You put Ricky Manning Jr. on a different team, and it was like, gosh, it's hard. So I think that, man, we have high expectations for Taylor, but I don't have high expectations for him when he's surrounded by a bunch of bums. Burris came back this week. A guy that is actually seemingly meant a lot more to this football team than we gave him credit for early on. When it comes to this defense, I want to go back to something Drew said, though, about Kyler Murray and the Cardinals. No, those guys don't play defense, but what we have learned so rudely, we have learned it this year, is that your defense, regardless, is still affected by the offense of their own team. And so the fact that they couldn't stay on the field, the fact that there was no real fear that they could strike into the Carolina Panthers on offense, that made their defensive job for the day a lot more difficult. It just put them in places where, and Cam, and this is what Cam, I think, did, is that, and with PJ, it's like we could just do whatever we wanted. If we needed the ball, we need to throw the ball.
You're saying that the Cardinals felt our pain the last few weeks this week.
Exactly.
It looked like a role reversal. They looked like us the last few weeks. They did that.
That's exactly what it was, because, and I wanted our defense, and I did sympathize, or not say sympathize. I'm critical of our defense. They had some chances that they could have kept the game a little closer in the past few weeks, that they could have done something. And I knew it was a Herculean task to ask of them to do that. But that was what we had. That was the thing, that was the hand we were dealt at the time. In this case, again, I got to say, if you're Shaq Thompson, if you're Dante Jackson, if you are Hassan Reddick, and you're walking on that plane today, you gave your offense, you set them up, and they finally didn't just fumble all over themselves. So, we were not a deadly offense today, but when the defense put us in a good position, we were able to capitalize. We scored more points than we've scored all season long. And that was with PJ Walker at the helm and Cam Newton playing like 10 plays.
Against one of the best defenses in the league.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, dang, Joe Brady knows how to call football again. And he has some cool calls today.
Not trying to put the cart before the horse, but think about this, guys. Tampa Bay did this last year. They lost the game, and then they ended up rattling off wins the rest of the season after they had lost their 5th game. Can you imagine if by some chance we ran the table at this point? We would actually win the division because we would have a tiebreaker against Tampa Bay.
Yeah. We're undefeated in the yeah, you're right. And on top of this, is this not the greatest tweet?
Joe Brady doing the 1-0 with the Cam Newton font.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome, dude. Look, I've been a defender of Joe Brady. I've been telling everybody that the problem with our offense was not Joe Brady. It's been the quarterback position, and it's been injuries, and it's been the offensive line. I think you look at how much better this offense performed today with PJ Walker and with Cam Newton when it mattered the most, and you're able to see what this offense is capable of. You're able to see what kind of a play caller Joe Brady is, and I think he dialed up some good stuff today. So I'm happy. I'm hopeful that we haven't seen the best of Joe, that we haven't seen the best of Cam, that we haven't seen the best of our offensive line as well, man. I think we're finally firing on all cylinders. And yeah, I agree with Drew, man. All of a sudden, this schedule going forward, it doesn't look as daunting as it once did.
I agree. I thought that back end of the schedule, I've been, like you described it as murderer's row. That's how it really felt at the beginning of the season when you saw those teams lining up. But now you've seen the Buccaneers have been beaten, right? They are. And man, Ron Rivera gave a great post-game speech. I don't know if you guys got to see it today, about how you went up against Goliath today. You went against the Titan and you learned something about yourselves today. And I thought it was a great, but the fact is that Tampa is not unbeatable. The Bills are not unbeatable at this point. And really, we just need to be looking for whoever the Bills play the week before. We need them to smoke their asses. That's what we need, because you don't want to play a Bills team that loses the week before.
No,
because they will come out and fucking hand it to you. That's what they do. They lost every time they've lost this year. The next game they win by like 40.
Yep.
All right, next call.
Go ahead.
It's a G, baby. My fucking girl fucked my last call up, calling me off a yin yang, man. You know what the fuck it is? Cam, Rand, Terrell, fucking Newton, Cody, Lack, let these motherfuckers know who the
Let's go.
Panthers are, motherfuckers.
Let's go.
Fuck everybody. All aboard. Come ride the choo-choo train. The fuck they talk about. I don't give a fuck if Kyler Murray and D-Hop was out. I don't give a fuck. That's what happened. It's called the NFL, man. And we went to the desert and we whooped they asses, man. We whooped they asses. We bust they ass, man. That's an ass kicking, man. We bullied them, man. Come on, man. The fuck they talking about? Cameron Jarrell Newton? What? Are you fucking kidding me? 2 plays? First 2 plays, he touches the fucking ball. Rushing TD, passing TD. This is what the Carolina Panthers needed the entire time, man. This is what he does, man. This is why he's my favorite player of all motherfucking time, bruh. The fuck they talking about, man? Ain't no one fucking with us when we have Cam Newton, bruh. Every team in the NFC South lost today, boys, and we fucking won, and we're still undefeated. We are very much in this shit. The fuck they talking about, G? Oh my god! Oh my god!
It sounds like I've said it the last few days.
The motherfuckers, man, Cam's been whooping their asses ever since he walked in the league, and even before then when he won the national title in that stadium, baby. He said, I'm back. Fuck whoever hates it, man. You want to know why they hate it? Because they wish they had it, bruh. They wish they had that shit. Motherfuckers, go. We in this bitch, baby.
Oh man, Cam Newton does good things for you, man. Gets the blood pumping. It just and it's meant a lot to this podcast. That's why it was so hard when he left. You know, for us, I mean, it was like an emotional thing for me. And I know that the reason I didn't like Teddy Bridgewater at all, because he won Cam Newton, right? I mean, I knew that was part of it. Because it means so much. He means so much to so many fans of the Carolina Panthers. And you can hear that energy. You can hear that optimism in the calls today. I want to give a big shout out, and I always say his last name wrong, and he's still my brother, though, on Facebook, Bill Daughtry. Who is, and I know I can't pronounce your last name. No matter how many iterations I tried, I get it wrong. But this dude took his daughters to this game, and he bought these tickets before Cam Newton was around, before Thursday. And he sent me a message. He said, damn, I got to go to this game. I'm taking my daughters to this game, but we're going. And then when the Cam shit came, I was like, oh my God. I was like, if this dude gets to see Cam Newton score a touchdown, that alone would make that, no matter what the bloodletting was for the Carolina, if we would have got smoked and Cam Newton scored 1 touchdown, that would have made his journey to this game better. Right. But today he got to see 2 back-to-back Cam Newton touchdowns and us smoke the hell out of car. He sent me a message and he said, stadium is quiet. I sent him a message back. I said, I bet you weren't, though. I bet you weren't quiet today. Good Lord, how amazing is that it works out in that way. Like Cam was saying in his press conference, you can't write it any better than this. And imagine if the Carolina Panthers ruins the Arizona Cardinals season 2 years in a row. Right? That we were the game last year that started their decline. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. You almost feel sorry for him at that point.
Doesn't Cam kind of own Arizona too?
Yeah. We won 6 straight against them.
And he always plays well in that stadium. I think he played his national championship game in college in that stadium. Wow. He played a playoff game in that big playoff game in that stadium. Like Cam, I think Cam has Arizona's number. So.
I think we beat them. Did we beat them we beat them in that playoff game in 2014? Now they didn't have a starting quarterback. Remember Steve Smith caught, or was it 2014 or 2013? Steve
We beat
Smith
him in
caught
the
that.
NFC Championship game in
15,
2015.
right? Yeah.
Oh man, I was there. Oh, you want to talk about an atmosphere, bro? I have physically was concerned for my safety at that game. Like the whole place was shaking. I thought like it could be like a sinkhole, like that building that fell down in Miami. That's what I like. I mean, you could feel that sucker flexing, and you were like, I hope we get out of here alive, but it's worth it. It's worth it.
It needs to be like that every week in Carolina,
I
man.
know.
Come on.
Well, guess what? This is fun to think about. So my ECU Pirates yesterday go and beat Memphis and return or make it to a bowl game for the first time in like 8 years. First time we've had a winning season in 8 years. It's been a drought for a football program that's had a lot of success in the past, from bringing out Chris Johnson. We had Chris Johnson, right? He played for the ECU Pirates. We've had a lot of success. David Garrard, Jeff Blake. Man, there's some history of success for the ECU Pirates, but it's sad to see a stadium that is known for being like a loud, packed stadium a lot of times over. You can only withstand losing for so long before people stop coming. But imagine being a college student, going to this school and never seeing a winning football team. It's got to be hard on you as a student. David Tepper is about to get to see what it's like to be a Carolina Panthers fan when Cam Newton is in a Cam Newton jersey, homie.
A healthy Cam Newton.
Yeah, you're going to see you're going to see a crowd that's wearing a bunch of number ones. You're going to see a crowd that's loud and cheering on third down on defense. You're going to see a crowd now. It's crazy. One single person did this for a fan base and for a team and completely resurrected this squad all of a sudden. Next call.
Yeah, man.
My name is Noah McKay, and it's the most happiest day of my life. I mean, we played the best game we ever played in our life. Let's just keep pounding. We got a Super Bowl team, hopefully the playoffs.
Oh, man. We got to listen to this call one more time. I'm listening to this call.
My name is Noah McKay, and it's the most happiest day of my life. I mean, we played the best game we ever played in our life. Let's just keep pounding. We got a Super Bowl team, hopefully the playoffs.
This young man not only is wise and enthusiastic and having a great day, but I tell you that is he don't sound like he's the oldest person in the room, right? He needed this in his life. Mm-hmm. He needed this in his young life of being a football fan and a Carolina Panther fan. He said, this is the best day of my life. Keep that energy, boy. Keep that passion.
Man. Hey, young man, keep that same energy, bro. Shout it at the top of your lungs so everyone can hear it, too. Panthers are going to the bowl. We don't care what no one says. We don't care what no one says. This is all feelings, no facts. We don't care.
Go ahead, Drew.
I mean, you couldn't write it better if somehow, some way we ended up winning the bowl.
Oh,
gosh.
I mean, come on now. I mean, really?
Man,
we're not out of it, man. The hope is alive. The hope is alive.
Hope is alive. The hope is alive. And what if Cam Newton dives on a fumble on the end zone and wins the Super Bowl? Oh my gosh, we're rewriting the world. We're putting things back in order again. The pandemic is over, and a new age of optimism. A new age of optimism. A new day is ahead of us. Good times are ahead of us. This is like what it must have felt like when World War II ended. Sorry, that's messed up. Next call.
What's up? It's Matt in the chat. I got
What's
a
up, my
question
man?
for y'all. Don't we have like 5 QBs on the roster? Right?
Yep.
If we look at it going forward from this Sundays, who's going to be on the roster? Because I know we've got $18 million to pay Sam next year, but I don't know. We just picked up the guy from the Titans training camp. He's probably going to be gone. And then Matt Barkley, and I don't know, Matt Barkley's name was getting thrown around a couple times, so they might be invested in keeping him. And I'm just curious to know. I personally think it's going to be like a dual QB system where they're going to have PJ and Cam. Cam do special packages. PJ just throw the ball down the field. But yeah, I'm just curious what you guys think about that, because next year's coming up fast, and hopefully it's not a rush decision when it gets there.
A lot of optimism going forward. Imagine, and I think Drew, we have to now be rooting for us getting the chip with Cam Newton's return. That has to. They would make movies. Somebody said this in the chat. You make movies about that type of stuff right there.
They really
put it in the bank, folks. I tell you this, I sold 5 T-shirts over the weekend. My mail out on Monday morning. So for you listeners, is that I ain't sold 5 T-shirts on this podcast in 3 years. And we've got one day with Cam Newton back in here, and we damn sold Cam. Good God. That is a microcosm of what David Tepper's stock just went up. He just checked his bank account, and it was just like, man, fat. That's what it was. All right. Next call.
Hey, guys. It's Joey.
What up, Joey?
Man, oh man, what a win. And yesterday I woke up, I found out that my family had wanted to go to this game too, of course, real important game, but I really wanted to go. I was prepared to I was going to do whatever I had to do to go to that game. So we were able to secure 2 tickets to go to the game next week. And I'm like, well, I still think we're going to get our asses kicked by the Cardinals. And when I forgot what game it was after. I think it was after the Giants game and then the Cardinals and Packers game. I say, Daddy, you know what? I've never been to Asheville, and I need an out so I could have an alibi. Why you weren't watching the Panthers? I was in Asheville, and I didn't have access to a place that I could watch them. But so I go to Asheville, have a bunch of fun. And in between that, Cam Newton comes back. But I go to Asheville, have a bunch of fun. And I'm walking around today, and I'm walking around downtown, and the guy says, "Oh, you're wearing you wearing Panthers gear?" And I'm like, "Hell yeah, buddy!" And he says, "How you feel? Cam Newton's back." I say, "I feel great." Then I come home, and then this game happens, and PJ and Cam are both used in this game, and this is awesome.
Oh, hold on. You know he got it. He don't let things in like that.
Hey, guys, it's Joey again. And I just wanted to ask, when we had that win against Atlanta, first of all, it was like a 19-13 win or something, but it was a win. And we found out it was definitely not sustainable. Do you think this win is sustainable? Can we carry it on to next week? Or are we just going to come back home and get our ass beat again? Wow.
My answer to you, Joey, my sight impaired friend is right up here on the screen, and it's 3 little words. Yes, we can. Yes, we can, baby. We're not done. We're not done. We can do this. My man Drew already laid it out. Going forward, this schedule is not as tough as we thought it was, man. We have the ability to contend with every single team that we're gonna play, man. The Jacksonville Jaguars beat the Buffalo Bills. We have seen the Dolphins lose. We've definitely seen the Washington football team lose. Tampa Bay has laid eggs. We've already beaten the New Orleans Saints. Dude, I'm telling you, the Panthers have a real chance to win every single game that they're in. Okay? Yep. I don't care what anyone else has to say. The Panthers are legitimate contenders.
Yep. The symbol means hope. Krypton. I'm telling you. we have hope in Carolina now. I'm excited to watch football again, finally. I told my wife this is the first time in honestly almost 2 years that I've been really excited to watch football again. Don't even care who's playing or if we win. I'm just so happy to see Cam play. That's what
I've been excited to watch the defense play this entire year. But over the last 2 years, I have not really been excited for the offense.
Mm-hmm.
And today was the first time where I was just pumped to see the offense play.
You know what the weirdest part for me was I think whenever Cam left, I'd gotten so used to his cadence and his voice behind the line of scrimmage. It doesn't sound like anybody else's. And the first time I heard that today behind the line, I was like, oh, we're back. Oh, as soon as I heard it, we were back. I got goosebumps. I got chills. I was like, oh my goodness gracious, Cam Newton's back. It was the best thing ever. It just sounds so good having him behind the line.
It's like, do you ever see those videos of like a military member has gone away for a long time and then he comes home and the dog hears him for the first time and they freak out? Dude, we are that dog.
Yeah.
We are all that dog, man. Listening to Cam cadence, bro, it was incredible.
We are.
Cam's cadence game is good, right? Like, I mean, it works. Like he for people talking about he don't smart enough to do all this, but like his cadence got people. Do you remember that time they got them to jump? Who was it that he got to jump like 5 times and he's talking junk to him? He said, "You watch film, bro," or whatever.
It was the
Packers.
The Packers.
Yeah, it was the Packers.
Yeah.
Was it AJ Hawk?
Was it AJ Hawk or was it Clay Matthews?
It was one of those
Clay
two.
Matthews.
It was one of those
Clay
two.
Matthews.
Yeah, it's Clay Matthews.
That was Clay
Because
Matthews.
he had Christian McCaffrey run that Texas route on him.
Yeah.
But also, do you remember in 2015, during Cam's MVP season, we were playing the Redskins, and Cam was killing them with the cadence. I mean, he was throwing them on sides like every other play, and he was mic'd up for that game, and he was on the sideline. It's like, man, I'm killing them with my cadence right now, bro. He's gotten
he
good.
went to that red, hitting that long ready. What's interesting is I hear other quarterbacks now that I think mimic his style across the league. Like I think that he and which is interesting when you heard that today, it was again, hope. That's the sound of hope.
It
right
felt
there.
right. Yeah.
I think Josh from Mass maybe might be on the line next. Here we go.
It's me, C-Dog.
Nope.
Everybody should be very, very, very excited. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of tired, man, 'cause I was just so excited for watching the game today. It's been a long time since I've been tired from watching the game and excited. But everybody should be excited. Superman is back. We lit. So we 500 again, and we are coming for the division. Keep pounding. Oh, only thing I didn't like when Phil Snow gave up that touchdown in the fourth quarter. But besides that, there you go, Panthers. Keep pounding, man.
Keep pounding, man.
Continue this great show. And everybody just get ready for this goddamn ride, man. You know what I'm saying? The energy is up. Everything was up today, up. So I don't know. This is a very exciting time right now, man. But thank you and good night. C-Doggles out of here.
Man, we appreciate the call and the support. We appreciate all the people in the chat room. You can continue to support the show by just listening to the content, telling a friend about the content. Smashing the thumbs up button is a small way to show it. Leave that thumb blue. Make that thumb blue, right? I think too. I mean, there's other ways to support the show if you are interested. You can find ways in the show notes and some things like that. But we really just want to develop a community, and I think that for me, I know this podcast is just important. First is like y'all are my friends, right? Like these are people I look forward to hanging out with more, or just as much as people that I live in close enough proximity to hang out with, right? I made brothers through this podcast, lifelong friends. And it's nice. It's easier in the good times, right? But we've kept each other. We've helped lift up our fellow man in the tough times. That's all the calls for tonight. I do want to finish the show with a couple of last kind of questions about what the Carolina Panthers are like now as a team, or could be, right? We've mentioned now all of a sudden. I mean, I was leaving these guys for dead just 5-6 days ago. And it kind of was one of those things where is that, yes, it's nice having a great defense, but having a great defense with an offense that can't score points doesn't give you an opportunity to win. I mean, you can't win without scoring points. And I mean, it's just impossible. And so is this offense now as it, can it be significantly better? Or actually, are we about to see an offense that is significantly better? And I feel like the easy answer and the right answer is just unequivocally yes. But now Christian McCaffrey returning, hopefully can stay healthy. Robbie Anderson smiling and doing these press conferences. DJ Moore happy. And even this offensive line's job got better today. And, you know, they don't have the shell-shocked Sam Darnold back there to even when things aren't bad, they look bad. How much do you expect that this offense is going to change over the next few weeks, guys?
That's, Tony, I wish I could come and give you some definitive hot take answer that I could look back on and tell you how right I was. But I have no idea, man. I think that's one of my interesting questions I have going forward is, do we, what is the split here? Are we going to continue to do the Cam Newton, PJ Walker thing? I personally hope not. I mean, maybe if Cam is still kind of getting the hang and the rhythm of the offense, then maybe since it's the quarterback position. But I just say let Cam go in there and play quarterback, y'all. We don't have to get cute. We don't have to change the entirety of our offense from Cam Newton. Cam can hang in there and dish the ball out all over the field, just like PJ Walker did today. And if, I want Cam Newton to have that opportunity to be able to prove himself, because we all know that so many of these dumb narratives exist around Cam Newton. This is the best receiving core that he's ever had. Let him be confident in the offense. Let him get ingratiated to the receivers, get on time, get on rhythm, and let Cam Newton roll, man. And I don't think that theoretically Joe Brady should have to do too much. I mean, maybe some more RPO stuff and trying to get Cam Newton running. Not running him back like we were running him during his MVP season, but enough to make opposing defenses have to fear and respect Cam Newton's legs. As long as he does that, it doesn't seem to me like they have to make too much of a fix to this offense right now to get it optimized for Cam Newton.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he makes an immediate impact, and I think it's for the positive because, I mean, you can even look at they showed a replay of one play in this game specifically where he's doing the quarterback option play, and he holds the ball in there so long, and you see it's down to the last second. They showed it from behind, and it just took that one little second for Cam Newton to hand it off to Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey was able to get past the first line because he waited that long. You don't get that with Sam Darnold. I don't know about PJ Walker. Maybe you get it with PJ Walker, but I think as soon as you insert Cam Newton in there, the defensive scheme that the other team has changes instantly. They have to so much more they have to worry about. I can see us getting back to what we thought we were going to be after the first 3 games, where we have a top 3 wide receiver, a top 5 running back, a top 10 overall offense. I could see us doing that if Cam could get back and get in the rhythm. Even with the offensive line the way it is, if it can play at least as good as it did today, I don't see why we can't be a playoff team contender.
Yeah.
And Cam,
is anybody?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as anybody, I'm pretty sure. Now, I haven't studied football as well as I don't know the X's and O's like most people, or a lot of people do. Most people don't know X's and O's, but I'm a visual guy. Like I could just do the eye test, and it turns out a lot of times it's pretty dang just accurate, right? I mean, that people that know football will be able to explain to me why what I'm seeing is good. But you can look at something and just say that looks good or that don't look good. And I don't know. I haven't studied the RPO in depth. But I don't know if I think that there is I think there's an argument that no one has ever run it better in the world than Cam Newton.
Yeah.
Like that quarterback run pass option. It's actually a hard thing to do. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't teach people to do it overnight. You got to make a lot of decisions quickly and you got to have a lot of confidence. Cam Newton and he runs it well, right? He knows how to give it when it's like, give it when he needs to give it, keep it when he needs to keep it. And he holds it to the last second, and you don't see a lot of problematic exchanges when it comes to Cam. And this one is my favorite right here.
Yeah, I posted this on my on my Facebook too, dude. I love the memes. The memes are just fun, dude. They're just fun. I love them. It's just awesome, man. Being a Panthers fan is fun again.
It definitely is fun. I mean, let's face it, the coaching staff has already basically answered any questions we have as far as what's going to happen moving forward. Last week against the Patriots, going into the half, we were down by a manageable amount. We had 30 seconds left, and we had timeouts, and we just let the clock run. This week, we actually were trying to make things happen. You know, so the coaching staff has already told us everything that we need to know. We're rolling with Cam. Sam is gone, and we're going to go somewhere. I think they want to go on that run, and they want to see how far we can take this. And I am pumped to finally see it.
All right, it looks like we got a call from Josh from Mass in, so we'll see if we'll sneak this one in, and then we'll start dabbing on some folks. We get I get to pull up that soundbite, too.
Yo, C3 fam, Panther fucking nation, you know who the fuck this is. It's your boy, the great Northern Panther, Josh from fucking Mass. And what a fucking game. The man, the king, the one, the only, number one is back, baby. And if y'all don't like it, you just suck his fucking dick. Shut the fuck up, man. Nobody likes what you're doing. Not a soul likes it. Except for maybe that dude who just ripped that fucking beer and tossed it during the J.C. Jackson interception pick 6 last week. From the top, this guy. We were at the game last week, and this dude 20 rows up from us in the top deck just tossed a full fucking beer.
That was ridiculous.
That image will forever live in my mind. But another image that will forever live in my mind is Cam taking his helmet off and screaming, "I'm back." And he's back. The whole team just looked different. Did they not? Did they not look like fucking contenders? Did they not look like fucking a beautiful monster piece out there? You can't deny it. And if you're denying it, you're full of shit. And you need to fucking get on your knees and apologize to Cam Newton right here, right now. We'll give you a moment of silence. And that's all you get, because I got more to say, because this defense looked dominant. The offense looked great with PJ out there, with Cam out there. Man, yo, the rest of the NFC South lost today.
Yeah.
Fuck the Saints and fuck the Cucks. Oh, I mean the Bucks. My bad. I meant to say that. I'm going to apologize. I'm not going to apologize because I don't owe any apologies because I never doubted Cam Newton. And now the man is back. And now y'all hearing this cat call. And it's Sunday night. And I'm Liddy McTeedy's been drinking beers, ripping beers.
Is in order.
Fucking ripping beers. And the Panthers are back, baby. You can't stop us. You can't deny us. We're here. We're on tour. We're going on the road. We're fucking your girlfriend. It don't matter, yo. We taking it out here, yo. You know what I'm saying? We going live with this shit. Ace Boogie in the fucking house. Ace Boogie in the house. And I'm almost out of time. And I ain't got another rhyme. So I'm just going to sit here, drink another beer, and shit my pants because I'm out of time.
Get your pants!
C3 podcast. It's Josh from Mass, your boy, the great Northern Panther, and what a makeup for last week. I'm out!
Nice.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, Lord, what?
There it is.
Look, this is how excited Josh is.
He does this. He does this.
Josh,
gosh. The world is
Shout
in
out
order.
Josh, man.
Order has been restored.
Contributing to climate change since 1987.
Yeah,
exactly.
dude. You're making things worse, Josh.
He met the tweet he sent was, "I brought the fire."
Hey, I'm at the point where I could just end the season right now.
I'm okay with that.
Don't have a losing record.
I
End
know.
on a high note.
I know. I kind of
Good
felt
season,
like
y'all.
the same.
Yeah.
No,
But there's more.
man, we
There's
need
more to be gotten. There's more to
We
be
need
gotten.
more.
There's a
and
Lombardi
I-
trophy to win.
That's right, man. We
Yeah.
gotta bring home
Put it in the bank.
party, bro.
Put it.
You can get that T-shirt too. I got some good T-shirts. But Lynn's
Yeah.
made both of. Made all three of my the best T-shirts we got. She made the I Stand with Cam shirt. She made the Keep Pounding shirt. She made the Put It in the Bank shirt. Now that's a good one, man. Put in it's a picture of the
love that one.
Lombardi. Put it in the
Yeah.
bank and a coin, the little Panther coin going in. It's dope. So y'all can find those at CarolinaCatChronicles.com under the shop tab. It's like whatever I got in the closet up there is what's for sale. I probably got to go and make sure and triple check all the inventory so I ain't selling things that don't exist either. This is fun now. This is fun.
Yeah,
Told
right.
you things are back to normal.
I just like doing it, man. Dab on them folks.
Yeah.
Dab on them folks. And that dab on them folks. They like seeing it. Tell me what to do. Dab on them folks.
Bro.
So good to hear
We
that.
get to play that. The dab, you know what? And I want to give some shout out, some love to my co-host, who never retreats. My co-host never surrenders, bro.
Never.
And he said this. He said we could call it the dab on them segment, the dab on them pick, even though Cam ain't here. We can still do that. And you were the one that said we need to do that. We should do that. And we did it. We keep it. Dab on them folks. Who you dabbing on? It's the player of the game.
Man, look.
I mean, is it just like a unanimous? God.
Dude, I don't give a damn if we all have the same answer. There is no way after his return game that I would not give, of all things, the dab on him player of the week to Cam Newton, man. The man has absolutely flipped our expectations for what this season is. Tony, we were saying that we missed the trade deadline, that we should have been selling. We should have been shopping.
Remember?
We should have been shopping everyone because I said that the team was boom or bust, and it was busting. Well, guess what, Tony Dunn? Cam Newton said, no, we booming around here, yo. Brought the energy. The whole team felt it. Man, Cam Newton, I'm so happy you're back, my brother. Cameron Jarrell Newton, we love you, man. We're happy that you're back. Keep pounding and dab on them folk, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, the Panthers were definitely busting, and Cam Newton came in and just busting on everybody's face right now, and he's about to do
Yeah,
the rest
he
of
did.
the season. I'm telling
Oh,
y'all.
shit.
I know.
Wow,
Get your
Cam.
Cam wows out. Get your Cam wows out and wipe it off.
Yep.
All right. Anybody else want to shout out any other player performance today? I mean, I think that we can all just do this. We'll say that the dab on him pick this week is a unanimous Cam. But any other recognition want to be given to any players? I want to recognize. I'll start because I do think that there's some other. Zane Gonzalez, dude, has been nailing all these kicks. He's like, good gosh. Even our kicking game is working now. So I'm going to give him a little love. And I also want to give. I need to give Shaq Thompson my weekly courtesy apology for him. He's having a great season, best season of football he's ever played, in my opinion, or at least the one that is most visibly improved. And my last goes to this is Stephon Gilmore. I never understood how cool it is to play man defense because we never have done it.
Right.
Like, we have never played man defense, and you were the one, Cody, who said like this is what JC Horn does for the defense, and it was evident, right? It was evident that that caliber of defensive back gave you some freedom in the secondary that trickled down to the linebacking core and to the defensive front. And then, so I saw it with JC Horn. When JC Horn got hurt, you saw it go away, how quickly things changed. And you also heard, I've heard Phil Snow echo those same comments that you made all throughout the season, like the latitude that gives you when you can play man coverage and how that changes your blitz packages up, how that changes everything. And I think we've seen that just from the short time that Stephon Gilmore has been put in the Carolina Panthers lineup, is that it has invigorated. It's just made that pass rush tenacious again. And it dropped after the JC Horn injury. It dropped off, bro. People started running against us. They knew they were going to be able to do certain things against us. And I'm not saying that zone defense is bad on its own right, but I think what is bad is when you can't play what you need and want to play in the moment.
Yeah,
and you're limited.
Antonio, you're 100% right. We have been a zone defense for a long time. We've been a four-man rush. A lot of Tampa 2, a lot of zone defense, and I love this man-em-up mentality that we have now. We're equipped to do it with Dante Jackson, C.J. Henderson, now J.C. Horn. Man, AJ Bouye continues to play good. We're loaded on that defensive backfield, man, and we've got some lockdown corners. So it's go ahead.
One thing I want to build off of that, man. You know, we've gone back and forth quite a few times as far as what would have been the right pick for us at number 8 this year. You know, with Stephon Gilmore coming in here and playing the way that he has, playing awesome ball, just because we were short on JC Horn, that speaks to what we're going to have in the long term. At the end of the day, Stephon Gilmore, he's 31 years old. You know, he's not old necessarily, but his time is numbered, or his clock is running out. You know, so we got somebody that's going to come in, and he's going to be able to play for us for a long time, and we aren't going to have to look in that direction again. We're going to be okay with him as our cornerback.
Yeah.
One
more thing I wanted to pinpoint. This is from Matt in the chat. There was a story that when Stephon Gilmore came to the Panthers, he requested number 1, but Dave Tepper, out of respect for Cam, rejected that request. So there's a lot of theories that maybe David Tepper was using that as a placeholder and holding it for Cam Newton in case he did sign him. So that's really cool. And yeah, I was about to throw that up too, Tony. I love it, man. That's that energy that he brings back to this football team right now.
This is that play we were talking about earlier.
Oh, you probably got us demonetized.
Look how clean.
Oh, because of the sound?
Yeah. But they see the NFL logos and shit. But yeah, fantastic route. Man, it was just absolutely, dude, everything about the game today was everything the Panthers needed, man. We have hope. We have reason to believe that we're going to do and actually make a legitimate playoff push. Man, you have to be happy.
Go ahead. Well, I was just say, just touching on what you were talking about a minute ago, Cody, about David Tepper with the placeholder for the number 1 jersey. I heard somewhere, I've been watching a lot of stuff. I've been on such a high with this Cam Newton thing, and I've been watching all kinds of videos. I sent a link to it in our chat earlier to like an 8-minute video for Cam Newton for his YouTube show, where he's just going crazy about being in Carolina. And it's just so passionate and so great about how happy he is to be here. It's such a perfect match. I was reading somewhere, and I can't remember where now because I wanted to be able to cite this, but about how Tepper told Newton after he was cut that he was going to get him back one day. You know, and obviously everybody thinking we're going to bring you back, you know, to retire with the Panthers. You'll sign a one-day contract whenever you retire a Panther. Do you think he really meant like, I'm going to get you back one day? Like Tepper never wanted to get rid of Newton, and this is what he's wanted all along, was to get Cam back. That's why he held the place for him.
We all want to know. Inquiring minds want to know. Like, that's going to be the thing. As soon as all of this passes, like this era passes of Cam Newton retires, maybe the Panthers find some success, finally win a Super Bowl or something like that, and maybe Matt Rule, that era is gone. We want to know these questions. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, I think the single question, if we could ask everybody, like if we just could have one insider piece of info, is the decision making around the quarterback position since David Tepper took over. Mm-hmm. Who do we attribute it to? You know, like we want to know is like cutting Cam, whose fingerprints, who was the main one calling for that, signing Teddy Bridgewater, who was the main one? And we all speculate. We've speculated endlessly about these things. Next, the Darnold move, this and that. Mm-hmm. We want to know who has orchestrated these decisions. At least that's for me, like the one insider piece of info I want to know.
You had David Newton on a day early.
I know.
Yeah, literally the day before. And by the way, if you go back and listen to his answer, he basically thought anything but Cam Newton, pretty much.
Yeah, he said there's no way.
And it wasn't a ridiculous position to hold at the time. You know what I mean? Like, is that bringing Cam Newton back, we thought was going to be humbling for everybody involved, particularly. And you know what? Is that it's one thing for us to swallow our pride and to say we were wrong on something. It's one thing for Matt Rule to swallow his pride and say he was wrong on something. But when you're a billionaire, dude, like nobody talks junk to you. Like you can't, like no mistake you can make can ever set you back, but so far, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it's just impossible. Like you would have to lose every bet for the rest of time, right? For you to learn what it is like to be wrong. And so I think that's where it's interesting. That's where we thought that, and I said that on Debate My Take too. No way, no how. That didn't age well. I love how this is. Got to put some respect in Cam Newton's name when it comes to look at how everybody talked about his ego, his arrogance, him being a problem. You know what I'm saying? Like the cancer, these types of things have always been thrown at Cam. Can you imagine a guy who looked more genuinely happy to be at home? Mm-hmm. You know, I think Cam is authentic, and people think that he is a fraud. That's what a lot of people think, is that this is all a fake. Like, even when he does say the right things, they would go, oh, he don't really mean it. I think Cam is truly authentic. I think like Cam is authentic in his own skin, to the fact that he wears what he does, all this ridiculous dress and all this, and he don't do it for he does it because that's who he is. Mm-hmm. And Cam said that, you know, and this is the one thing, this is when I really turned on Teddy Bridgewater for the end, like where I would not want him. Like I didn't like him. I went like, not only did I not believe he was right or good or anything, but I just started dislike. He threw people under the bus. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Whether he was right or wrong in it, he did. He never, and you know what Cam always did? Fell on the sword. He did what coaches do, and that is, like, when a coach says this, I need to coach better because Sam Darnold's playing bad, that's what he's got to say. Mm-hmm. He does it. He wants to say that guy's got to stop being a fucking piece of shit. But Cam always fell on the sword.
Always. And he's always going to, man.
It's not fake, though. It's not fake. It's not fake. I think,
well, and you saw it today when Cam Newton's trying to amp up the whole team. His first game back, and he's out there amping up the team. The only thing sad is that we can't put that captain's logo back on his jersey where it belongs.
You can't. Can you not?
I thought that I thought you said it before the season started, and then that's it.
No. You can change it weekly because I know that there's plenty of times where they even talk about it. Announcers as players run. Oh, he's wearing the captain's jersey this week. He was awarded captain this week. You can definitely change it.
FAO Bada got the captain's patch when we were in England.
You can only have so many per. Like you can have I think 3 for offense, 3 for defense, and 3 for.
Well, it's okay.
Teams.
We got one from Sam's jersey that we can.
Take Sam's and put it right on the cams, dude.
Yeah, you can definitely.
All right,
100%.
Let's get a towel of shame. Towel of shame pick. You know what? I'm and again, everything's about Cam. Towel of shame goes to this is Cam haters, man. The people that said life was going to be better without Cam and that, he's done this and that. Well, look, this guy came back and saved Joe Brady's job today.
Yeah.
This guy came back and saved the Panthers season today. He came back and saved my mental health today.
Mm-hmm.
As someone who drank way too much yesterday and was feeling terrible, I could only feel so bad when I saw Cam Newton score a touchdown. Like I felt great again. It was like a Pedialyte for my soul. My towel of shame, though, the real one goes to the refs. I thought made some wussy calls today. I thought they were throwing laundry out there for no reason a lot of times, and that stinks. And the taunting stuff is ruining football. And think about this for the debate shows this week as well as the Tuesday show. Somebody sent me a message that said, "Do you think that that Brian Burns celebration?" The Spider-Man and maybe Cam Superman, that these guys have to be concerned now with the taunting stuff that is like, are they, I mean, taunting, I need to look at the rules because I don't think it means you can't celebrate, right?
Right. Yeah.
It means it's not allowed. It's not allowed to be directed at a player. So you're allowed to celebrate, but like if you flex in the direction of the defender, or whatever, the guy you stiff armed or whatever, then if you're doing something at someone, it's considered taunting.
Right. And
basically, you got to do it pointing towards the end zones because even if you're doing it towards the opponent's team, I guess that counts now.
It's a very ambiguous definition of what taunting is, and that's a bad spot to have a gray area in the rules, I believe,
especially when it changes the tone of a game. I mean, it's a personal foul. It negates big that we saw in that Chicago game. Chicago's supposed to win that game, or it looks like they could go and win that game, and then it changed the game. You hate when that happens. You don't want. It's like baseball. You don't want. You understand that there is a human error, but at the same time, you don't want the calls to ruin the competitive nature of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Drew, you got a towel of shame for anybody?
Honestly, the only person I can think of, and it's with this great win, I even hate to do it, but Chuba Hubbard for fumbling the football.
Yes. He's had an up and down rookie season.
Yeah, this is definitely not a good time if you're trying to make the cut for a team. This team might be about to take off. You want to be playing your best football right now.
Exactly. With Amir Abdullah running as hard as he is, you can't afford to fumble the football.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and especially if we're going to depend on him to take reasonable snaps away from McCaffrey when it matters. Yeah, those you cannot have those. He needs to spend extra time on the jugs machine. He needs to get right, man, because we cannot have those drops. It's one thing to have them earlier in the season, but you've played enough NFL football now, man. It's time to get better with that and continue to grow as a football player.
And that was all on him. It was nobody stripping the ball from him. That was he.
Yeah. Right in the chest. I mean, we make mistakes. It's just he's been making mistakes this season, and he's had some. I gotta give him this: is he's had some tough runs too. Like, I mean, he's had some bright spots, but he best be glad that Ron Rivera ain't his coach, because his ass wouldn't have had a second chance after week 1. Or
never.
Week 2. He would have never been on this team. He would have been over there with Cameron Artis-Payne, just sitting on the sidelines watching. Anybody else want to throw a towel at somebody?
No,
I got one.
Gotta be something. All right.
For whoever decided to cut Cam, towel of shame.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Now you're eating your words.
I feel like we should give one to Sam Darnold for his tears.
He's still what, 18 million guaranteed this year. He's not crying too bad.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
You know?
Who?
Yeah, exactly.
Who are we talking about? It doesn't ring a bell.
Blake
I
has
don't
the
know
same
what it
mindset
sounds.
as me. Jugs Machine does sound fantastic, but I guess it's just the mind I have, you know. I play with the Jugs Machine all day long.
Yeah, love it, Jugs Machine.
Thank Ross School. Thank you for your support. Always generous with the monetary donations every week. We appreciate that. He said, "Ice up David Newton for trashing Cam Wednesday." I don't know if he trashed him.
I don't think he
Just said it
trashed him.
wasn't
Yeah.
him.
People are flaming Dave right now because I'll look it up. He said something about PJ Walker, and he made it sound like it was last week that the Panthers played the Lions. Like it said
last year
instead of last year, and people were already.
Oh man, love. First, I am Ace Boogie. Tony is David Newton's biggest fan. I mean, you might argue I might be his only fan. That could be like one thing. Is he doesn't get and I was being honest with him, man. People need to hear they're good sometimes. You know, people need to hear some compliments, not always just only trash. And yeah, he makes mistakes, but I do that all the time too. So I also empathize with him on that because I'm terrible with names. I always get them mixed up. He was very gracious with his time coming on the show. And I got to say, out of all the people that we've ever interviewed that has been like a reporter or an insider, he's the only one that messaged me the next day with something nice. You know what I'm saying? Like this. And he sent me a message. He sent me a message after the show. He said, "One day I'll tell you what I'd really ask David Tepper." So I can't wait for that one because we asked him what would he ask. He said, "I'll tell you what I can tell you up here, and then one day I'll tell you what I really would." And then the next day he sent me a message as soon as the Cam Newton broke. He said, "Well, I was wrong. Got that one wrong."
Did you really?
But it was nice, man. Like that dude messaged me. You know what I'm saying? Usually I'm begging these guys, acting like they're out there working hard and stuff like that. But like, I don't know. Sometimes they think they're cooler than they are.
Yeah, listen, I think Panther fans are definitely higher on David Newton now that he came and talked to us. But yeah, this is where people are getting on to him now. He said he led the Panthers to a 20-0 victory over the Lions last year. then he got corrected, and he was like, "Yeah, last week, thanks." And then look, Pat Coltrane said, "Y'all please go watch David Newton interview with Cat Chronicles. This man don't care."
It's awesome, dude. I love him. Yeah. All right. That is the show for now. Tuesday night's going to be a fun one, man. We get to circle back after a victory. We get to circle back with the team that now Cam Newton is wearing number 1 in Carolina again. And you know, I feel like Cam also made the term QB1. Like, I feel like I didn't ever hear it just be called like that, like where it was like an actual, like that QB1.
Been around for a while.
Like, man, with the jersey number. Then you get other now quarterbacks like to wear the number 1.
So
I don't remember, you know what I'm saying?
I have Sunday Night Football on my screen, and Mike Florio on the bottom. It says, "Strong chance Cam Newton will start next week versus Washington."
Strong.
So to Peaceful Warrior or Peaceful Savage in the chat, sorry to ruin your dreams, man. It doesn't seem like the Walker Wonder is gonna get any more starts at QB1. But hey, man, I'm happy for PJ. I know today was a heavy Cam Newton day, obviously, but I want to make sure that before we go, we give another big pat on the back to PJ Walker.
Mm-hmm.
PJ Walker played very well today. Came in, he was accurate. He was big on some third downs too. got the ball out of his hand quick. PJ played a really good game today, man. And I don't want to take that away from him.
And he got blown up a few times. Stood his ground in there. Jumped right up to look to see what was happening, not just like dead in the ground, and also not. I always loved that with Sam Darnold. He gets smashed and they didn't even care what happened in the play though. It was just like he was laying down. And you were a little worried about his health down there, but PJ was like, "Oh, did I make the pass? Did I make the pass?" And it also shows you, I think, what football fans were so recency biased. And hey, look, I'm guilty of this too. It's just 5 days ago I was ready to, I just didn't think there was any hope for this team going forward. And now I'm back on it, right? And Drew, you said this too on when we were doing the Thursday thing when the Cam Newton news you came across. Is like how one little piece of evidence or one little event changes your outlook. But I think a lot of people it just became easy to shit on PJ Walker though in this process. They're like, he can't play. And you're thinking of a guy who's been working hard trying to play. I don't think he's going to be the first person to say I'm going to be the next starting quarterback, but he's put together more. I bet you there's better tape from PJ Walker than there is from Sam Darnold.
Oh, absolutely.
On this team.
And let's not forget that PJ is undefeated as a starter between two different leagues.
Yeah.
Everyone, even I have my own critiques on PJ as much as I love him. But you can't argue with the fact that the dude is 7-0 as a starter between two different leagues.
Whether it's last week or last year, who gives a shit?
Exactly.
Also, a good point by Ross, too. That 2-point conversion was a laser beam that he threw. And also, it was a good play call by Joe Brady as well, man.
Yep. All right, that's the C3 Panthers post-game show. It's a good day. You can follow me on Twitter at @cat_chronicles. We'll be here Tuesday night. We got a lot of cool content coming. And Cody, how can they get after you?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at CodyLac, CodyLac. I follow Batman. I'm very accessible. Come get at me. Also, before we got out of here, guys, we are literally 70 something subscribers away from 3,000,
which we busted ass over the last 2 weeks. Dude, we had 100 subscribers in 5 days.
Yeah,
Crazy.
man. Listen, if you are not subscribed to the channel, hey, we have 166 people still watching at the end of the podcast. Right now, you could help us get to 3,000 subscribers. Hit the subscribe button.
We need 50.
Yeah, tell a friend, man. Tell a friend about the Carolina Panthers and the C3 Panthers podcast, man. This is the place to be. This is the place you want to come hang out. And catch my work on Draft Tech, where I'm the Panthers analyst. I write first and second round comments for the Carolina Panthers. And last but not least, every Friday at 7 p.m., the Friday free-for-all. Nick and Drew are always there hanging out with me, having a great time every Friday. That's your opportunity to be on the show. I posted the link to the StreamYard in the chat so everyone can come in and hang out if you want to. And yeah, that's it for me. It's been a good-ass day, Tony.
All right, guys. Thank you. Again, check out the Friday free-for-all. Nick and Drew, always great contributors there. And then they get on each and every week with us at any opportunity. I love this. This is how great our community is people will give us their time and their insight and their enthusiasm. So thank you from the bottom of my heart, you two. And Greg, good to see you, my friend.
As always, brother.
I know it's nice. It's a good day. And Cody, take us the hell out of here.
Panther Nation. Until next time. Let me get this off the screen so that way. Until next time, keep pounding.
Keep pounding.
Damn.